Hello everyone, we are live. Today we will continue learning how to make an environment effect. All right, so let's chat a little bit. Welcome here, everybody. I am just putting some announcements out, and we'll start very soon with the actual learning. You know how it is with Discord. It takes just a little bit to upload things, like videos and things like that. Hope everyone is feeling okay today. I'll dive right into it. I wouldn't do a lot of intros. All right, finally it's out. Now I can clean it here a little bit. Perfect. You know, when Discord, when you post a lot of links and then, yeah, it just shows you all the embedded stuff. I don't like that. So usually I wait for the upload to finish and then I clean it up. So I remove all the embeds and stuff like that. All right. Yeah, let's dive into it. Let's get there quick then. I'll get the course here. The course content, which we can show onto a certain part and then we have to hide. Just getting it ready for the stream. All right, courses. All right, let's log in first. Once we log in, we could continue from there. My courses, yes. Let's go to environment effects. So far, we've been 14%. That's good progress so far. That's pretty good. I just forgot to turn it on here. Here it is. All right, so we have it ready everywhere. We have the stream up and running. That's perfect. Sound check. So far, so good. And I think you've completed intro to environment art, environment effects. Okay. Did I? Yes, the modes are the one that we started with. Modes
No.
material, I think we did not finish that yet.
And no, you're
Okay, so we're just gonna go and demonstrate that thing that they demonstrated for us with the depth. What's called the fade distance, I think. All right, let's go to the let's learn overlay here, and yeah, so we're good here so far, I think. Let's put this more in the middle. All right, now we're talking. Hope everyone is having a good time so far. Hey, Mustafa, how's it going? Okay, so let's get it started then. We have sound, we have everything going on, and I'll hit on record. All right, hello everyone, this is part 2. Today we will continue where we left off last time with the modes and the textures. So let's get it going.
enough. And this is going to be the start of our material. We still want to have like one more functionality. And this is what I'm going to show you now as well. So I actually got rid of this here. So let me get it back in here.
Okay, so I think,
This is
where did you put it?
functionality.
Did you put it in Fade distance. I think we did that, right? We basically demonstrated it in the material. Now I remember pretty well. Okay, so we went here. We went into the material themselves, right? Let's get that up and let's change it to gray. All right. And I think the further away you are from it, the more it's gonna be prominent. And yeah, I think, and we added parameters and stuff like that. I think we did all of this. That's pretty good. Okay. Sometimes you just have to go a little bit backwards just to understand where you left off.
This is what I'm gonna show you now as well. So I actually got rid of this here, so let me get it back in here.
Perfect. Okay, so I'm just gonna skip through it now.
And then I'm gonna go back to the opacity.
I think we set up the whole thing.
And
this is new.
Easier time to hide low resolution textures. And then we obviously use the texture, which is the main driving factor for the look of everything. So we now created the main material, and we're going to use the same thing for our second sprite, and that is the single modes texture. So we're going to go in here, and Unreal has this very nice feature where you can click on a material, right mouse button, create material instance, and then it's going to create a material instance out of it. And we're going to call it MI for material instance, modes, and we're going to either call it 02 or you're going to call it just single 02, depending on 01, depending on what you like more.
Okay.
So this is now what we're going to get here. You won't really be able to see something.
Okay, let's get the material instance up and running. By the way, guys, this is this course basically. This basically is a course this part of the course actually exists on YouTube, I've been told, and it's for free. So all the way until the mode mesh optimization, I think all of this is available on their YouTube, Mad VFX. And from there now on, when we go to the falling leaves, to the fire, to the lens flare, etc., I'm not gonna be able to show you exactly what's going on in the course, but it will be like kind of, hidden behind the screen here, just to protect, their copyright and everything else. If you're curious about a course, I suggest that you buy it. There's a link down below, and I think you get a discount as well if you use my code. Someone asks on Instagram, what's up with the Instagram stream? All right, so what course are you going through? Just gonna write it here, Mad VFX. Okay, not sure if the Instagram stream is actually up and running, but anyway, back to it. We wanted to do the instance. Yes, let's do it. So let's keep this open, honestly. Then we right click, we make a material instance, and instead of it being material MT, it will be MI. Excuse me there. And we're gonna call this single because it's gonna be that instance for the single. And damn, do I have a problem here with the frames again? Okay, let's do the thing that you guys taught me last time, which is, let me try project settings. No, don't fall for this, Jack. Here we go. Yeah, it goes back to epic immediately. All right, so we don't want it epic, we want it medium. And so we have more performance here, so we can actually, oh, I got a notification, but I'm not sure. Just subscribed. Hey, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for subscription. Okay, let's keep going. We will basically go now and start with the material instance. It's hard to spell. Let's change this to maybe a plane, which will be used, I think. Plane is a better demonstration for this, I think. Let's see what we can change here. So far, we can change the texture. That's pretty cool. Let's keep that one. We could change the opacity. Hey, good day. Good day to you too. Thanks for joining, guys, and thank you for saying hello. Yes, I will go now and you know what? I'm just gonna check on Instagram stream because I'm not entirely sure if it is up and running. I'm just getting a bit of anxiety here. Give me a second here. Hopefully we'll be back very fast. I have 2 phones ready for this thing here, just to check. And it is. Drum roll, please. Drum roll. Anyone watching? Blah, blah, blah. Please, if you're watching the stream on Instagram, tell me if it is running. And I have to switch the Wi-Fi. And so is the streaming live, I guess. Hey! Oh, what do we have here? Subscribe. Thank you, Nomti or Nomtai. It is stuck. That's funny. It is stuck. Okay, that's funny. Why though? Why is it stuck? Makes me wonder, honestly. Oh no, it is gone now. All right, perfect. Back to it. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the subscription, everything. We're gonna go back to it. We're gonna go fast, and we're gonna resume the recording. All right, back to it, everyone. Yeah, so we can do the opacity controller, which should control the opacity of the general texture, as we see here. One will be full. Fade offset can be the fade offset, but let's see. That is, I think, the thing that we... So that was a subtraction, I think. If it was 100, this will fade early, or the opposite effect. Yeah, okay, it will fade early. I'll go with 50 for now. I might be wrong on this value, but we could change later. Fade distance. This is, I think... Okay, so let's multiply it by 10. Okay, so now it's fading way earlier, basically. That's too obvious, in my opinion. So let's divide it by 10 again and see what we can do. All right, this looks good so far. Back to the course and see what they're doing. And yep.
Let's build up the opacity. Let's put it to 500. Now you can see it. And from here, we don't really want to change a lot of things. The main thing which we're gonna change is not really any of those, honestly. We can just change the texture, because the only thing which is different on this one, which is the single things flying around, is that we're gonna use the single texture. And that's what we get now. Let's put that back to 1, because this is only to help us find it in the scene. And now we have already all the textures and the materials made for the first version of the dust modes. And from here on, we're gonna jump basically directly into the particle system. So see you there.
All right. Then now we're gonna set up the particle system. Let's get to it. So finally, we're moving on. Here we go.
Now we're gonna do the actual particle system. And first of all, we're gonna create another folder, because we want to have this one nice. And right mouse button, Niagara system. And new system from selected emitters is usually what you can go for. We actually gonna start with an empty system. So let's use that. So we're gonna call it ns_modes01.
Okay, so let's follow that step quickly here. So right click, get your particle system, right? Make an empty one and call it ns for Niagara system, right? I think. We're gonna call it this and go with modes. Single maybe? Let's see. And yeah. Oh, that already exists, or... Alright, so we're gonna double click on this and go back to the course.
To open this up, this is what we're gonna have. This is the interface. I hope some of you have seen it already. But as a very quick breakdown, this is the timeline. We can kind of scrub through to see effects. This is the viewport where the particle system is gonna be rendered. And this here is like our node-based particle system. And there's a couple more things here, like parameters and stuff, but you don't really need to worry about that at all so far. So if you're in here, right mouse button to move around, and yeah, if you press right mouse button in here and say add emitter, we're gonna start and take in let's go with a simple sprite burst. So this is usually what you're gonna start with if you want to build something from basically completely scratch. So when we think about like a mode system, there's a couple of things which you want to have. And first of all, let's actually take this thing. So you can press this little folder and then just kind of drag and drop here into the scene, because we actually want to see it in the scene. And one last thing, those kind of dust modes are mostly visible here under like light influence. So place it somewhere here, but up to you. And yeah, if we now go in here, you will see it repeating in here, but not in here. And that is because right now it is set to only spawn once.
So we're gonna make a simple sprite burst, I guess. All right, so let's get that going. The way we can get that going, mostly we go back here, and as it was explaining to us in the course, or he was explaining to us in the course, yeah, you know, you have your thingy here, like in the material thingy, that's gonna show you something, and here you have details. When you click something, you're gonna see details, and here you have the timeline. You can scrub through it, you can play it and stuff like that. All right, so let's add one more thing here, and to add things, I guess with E. All right, let's see if this is how you do this. I'm doing like 3 things in the background. That's why I didn't pay so much attention. All right, simple sprite burst. All right, simple sprite burst. Yeah, we got it. Perfect. And now it's compiling. You can see that it's compiling, and we see something. All right, so it's just like a dot that is going on, and you know, it shows and then it goes away. And here we can disable things, I guess. Yep, and you could delete things too. And yeah, and here we have all the controls that we can control. All right, so we're gonna do just that. Back to the course. Just gonna go a little bit backwards
this
here,
one here
just like 1 minute or so, because I didn't pay
see
attention.
it in the scene. And one last thing, those kind of dust modes are mostly visible here under like light influence. So place it somewhere here, but up to you. And yeah, if we now go in here, you will see it repeating in here, but not in here. And that is because right now it is set to only spawn once and one particle. And this one here is gonna loop, but not the actual one in the scene. So if you go into the preview, you move it around, so like with left mouse button, and then you just hover over it and press middle mouse button, then it's gonna spawn. See? So space, 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 and then I spawn a couple of those. Yeah, so we're gonna start with this, but we don't want this behavior. What we want is we want something which actually spawns continuously. So we have the spawn burst instantaneous in here, and we're going to change it from instantaneous to spawn rate, which is here. And we're going to change it to 2. So it's going to spawn 2 now continuously, and do this, bip, bip. But it still dies, never comes back. So the reason for that is that in the emitter state, this is where it actually sets up how it should loop it. And this is here the loop behavior. And currently it's set up to 1, so it does.
Okay, so I guess he put it in the scene, and let's do that. So let's save this, and let's put the neighbor system in the scene here, and let's hide those. And I think I've got told it's G. Yes, but then now everything is gone. Yeah, all right, so let's put it in the middle here. I gotta learn a bit more Unreal here and make this more. All right, so why is it not? So I think it is gone already, right? That's what he was trying to demonstrate. Are there no controllers here that I could play this thing again? I think I have to go back to the tutorial. Here we go. This one. All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining.
And all of that once, and then just dies forever. We're going to change it to infinite.
Right, so I'm just going to go back a little bit here.
How it should loop it.
So yeah, we got an idea. So he put it...
And we're going to change it from instantaneous to spawn rate, which is here.
Spawn rate. Okay.
And we're gonna.
All right. So let's do this quickly. And let's see what we can do. So right now it's doing emitter state once, right? So, and he does spawn rate, which would mean what exactly? All right, so let's disable this one. Spawn rate, let's do a 2 or something. And hey everyone, thanks for joining. All right, so let's see. It's not spawning anymore. But now it's kind of spawning twice, I feel. Hey, oh my god, so many people joining. Nice to have you here, people. Yeah, that is basically spawning it 100 times almost. And so if I update this, yeah, here it is. Finally, here it is. We can see it now. But then it's gone, right? So yes, that's correct. So, and I think he was showing us the fact that you could change it from spawning once to basically spawning, what is it? Spawning on a loop almost. So let's see that again. Let's go back to the course and see
Change
what
it
it does
to
here.
2. So it's going to spawn 2 now, continuously, and do this. But it still dies.
Mm-hmm.
Never comes back. So the reason for that is that in the emitter state,
Yeah.
this is where it actually sets up how it should loop it. And this is here the loop behavior. And currently it's set up to 1, so it does this thing.
Okay, so let's do that. Spawn rate, where is it? Emitter state, spawn rate. Oh, sorry, no, emitter state. It says self once. Okay. Well, that's kind of clear. Let's do infinite. Let's save. And go back here in the scene. Now we see that it's constantly spawning here like an alien ship or something. All right, so good. Let's continue.
And all of that once, and then just dies forever. We're going to change it to infinite. Change it now, save it. Now it's going to spawn 2 each second, and you can see it because they kind of, just kind of start spawning. And yeah, from there on, we will start building the particle system. When it comes to stuff like this, the most important thing to get right is usually scaling and placement. But it can be quite nice, especially for our use case, to actually get the material first in. Because we want to build something which is quite fine detail. And if we go to Sprite Renderer, this is where we set up everything which is visual. The other things are just like the behavior. And this is the actual visual component to it, which is rendered in the end, so the material. So we just did those materials. So we go into our materials folder, and let's use the empty modes 0, 1 for it. So, and there you can see our little splashes, little modes. And the first thing you're obviously going to notice is, well, they're quite small. So let's go into the initialized particle module. And that is one of the most important modules about, well, they're more important than any other module, honestly. Because in here you set up the lifetime, the initial color, and the scale. And we have currently like a sprite size mode, which is set to uniform 50. That's not that big. Let's put it to 300. That is big. So if we have this, then you kind of want
to... Okay, I'm already missing steps here. Okay, so let's see. Sprite renderer, I guess. We get our material here. Let's get our material instance. Put it right in here. Yep. Now we have our lovely texture in here. Perfect. I have no idea how he made it go so like all over the place, but I'm trying to guess. Maybe there's a spawn sphere or something like that, like positioning or something like that. All right, so let's add sphere. All right, sphere is nothing here. Maybe here there's a sphere somewhere. Shape location. Yeah, that's what it's called in Unreal, I guess. All right, now we have way more. As you can see here, it's barely visible. But if I save it and I go back to the scene. Oh yeah, here it is. Here they are. Whoop. I can see that the material instance is a bit, too opaque. So let's control that a little bit here. Fade distance, let's keep that. Let's do this to 10, save, and go back here. Is it visible? Barely, only when there's like a black background. Really hard to watch, even full screen on PC monitor. It's like I'm watching from a smartphone screen. Got any Twitch? Yes, I do actually. So you're probably watching from YouTube right now. There's 2 streams. You can redirect to the other one. Even if you're on YouTube, there's a redirect button. Go on that and it should take you to the landscape stream. If you can't find it, I'll put it in the comments here. All right, hope that helps, my friend. So let's keep going and let's do... But if you want to go to Twitch, there is a Twitch as well. Okay, back to it. So we have this opacity controller. It's on 1. That's pretty good. Fade distance. Maybe that one is too high. Let's try dividing it by 2. Saving. Yeah, that one was a bit too high, I guess. Perfect. But now we're seeing something, which is pretty good. It's not amazing. I don't think it's amazing or anything. Let's see if I increased. Here we go. That's what we needed. The opacity controller was doing a bit too much opacity thingy. All right, so let's keep this on 4,000 then. Sorry, let's keep it on 4,000. Boom. That's 40,000, I think I put there. 4,000. Perfect. And let's see what's gonna happen now. And let's increase the opacity a little more. Okay. And so back to the course. Let's see what he does. I'll go a little bit backward because I'm not paying so much attention.
Like sprite size mode, which is set to uniform 50. That's not that big. Let's put it to 300. That is big. So
yeah, here he does it.
If we have this,
okay, I'm gonna go back a little bit more.
This is, well, they're quite small. So let's go into the initialized particle module, and that is one of the most important modules about. Well, they're more important than any other module, honestly, because in here you set up the lifetime, the initial color, and the scale.
Okay.
And we have currently like a sprite size mode, which is set to uniform 50. That's not that big. Let's put it to 300. That is big. So if we have this, then you kind of want to be able to just say, okay, I want this to be random. Like, I don't want to have the same size all the time. So change it from uniform
random uniform.
Random uniform.
Okay. Let's put some randomization on this beast. Let's go with 10 opacity here, just in case. Go back to the particle system. And let's go to initialize particle, like he said. Now we can make each of them stand here for 10 seconds. And it's gonna be here for a while, right? We don't want it to be too obvious, but we're just gonna play around now with the settings a little bit. So we have size, right? So this can be 100. Now the actual sprite here is scaling up, right? And damn it, I wish I could make this a bit more opaque, honestly. But I think that's the texture here to blame. Yeah, so that will do. Now if I go in it, it will disappear, right? I think we're spawning way too many particles in here, but that's fine. We're just experimenting right now. So there's the random uniform and random non-uniform. I personally like random non-uniform, but I think that in Unity could mean something different than in Unreal. Here we're getting the actual like X and Y values to manipulate, right? So if I put the X here to 100, you will see that it's like literally taking them and stretching them. And if I put 100 here, it's gonna look like that. That's, I guess, is okay for like a dirt texture. I'll just put the lifetime back to 1. And by the way, like any any value here, you could add randomization to it. So even the lifetime, we can go like random, and now we can do a value between 0.1 and 3. And now we're going to have something that spawns like this, right? So each particle will have a random lifetime now between 0.1 and 3 seconds. So as you can see here, it's just going to go like that. And yeah, so I just want to show that. I'll go back to putting this to 1 and 2. And then it will probably be a little more as a final result, especially for dust, and we'll have some type of movement. But this now, like, even though it's a dust texture, it looks like a, you know, dirt or something, something splashing, right? Okay, so let's get to making, where is it? Lifetime max, perfect. You know what? I think I need to scale the UI here for you guys a little bit because it is even small for me. So let me do that real quick. Here we go. Let me make it up to 125. All right, so maybe this is better now. Maybe you guys can see some of the values that I'm working with here. Maybe it's better. Is it better? All right, so let's keep going here, and we'll do. What else am I gonna do? Yeah, we're gonna do the size, but non-uniform. Sorry, random uniform. And now we'll do like something between 1 and a 10. We'll scale this down a little bit here and put it to a side, and now you can see how small this is. It's scaling between 1 and 2, but we can go 1 and 10, but we can do 1 and 100, and this is gonna take like the uniform like the uniform value between 1 and 100. And if we scale the 1 now, we're gonna see that's gonna scale up too with it, because it's taking, I think, somewhere in the middle or something like that. I could be wrong, but yeah, let's keep going. Let's keep learning. Back to the course, baby. There we go.
For example. And then we can go for, okay, let's say 170 to 250. Just use some values, which you think look interesting. And now you can see stuff spawning in with different sizes, creating this weird parallax look to it. Kind of cool. But we don't just want to have that, but we also want to have like random lifetimes, and this is something which you can set in the lifetime module. Right now all of them live for 2 seconds and then they just get deleted. We can change it to random, and then we can set a value in which is a bit more reasonable. So 6 seconds. Test modes usually live for quite some time. And then the next thing would be, we want those to not just spawn in the middle, right? Because right now that looks...
Hey, I did that already. That's pretty cool.
And there is a couple of different modules for that, but the main module in the newer Unreal Engine versions is the shape location. And the shape location here is, by default, a sphere.
So I just want to say, I'm sorry if I jump ahead, but sometimes with learning, you kind of need to guess what their next step is in the course, just to, you know, you feel like this dopamine when you get it right. You're like, oh yeah, I got it right. Hell yeah. You know, it's pretty cool. All right, so enough of that.
All right, units big, so it just spawns them in a random location inside this 1 meter big sphere. You can see that quite easily in here.
Yes,
we
have that.
Don't necessarily want a sphere for this, because we want to create something which kind of hacks onto this
like a cone
shape here.
Yeah.
And
all right, let me guess the next step. It's probably gonna be easy to guess. So if I go here now, and I put that thingy, where is it? The shape location. If I put it to a cone, which is going to simulate a small little cone. All right, I'm not sure if this is inside. This is inside now. Okay. Let's do the length up to, like, always go with something high, right? Go with 1,000. Like, what are we gonna see with 1,000? All right, now it's way too much, right? Like 100. It's so much. All right, now we're gonna go with a 900. That's, again, too much, Jack. Okay, 500. Okay, that's probably the size we want. Maybe what I'm doing is wrong right now, but it's okay to make mistakes. It's a safe environment for mistakes. So I chose it in the... Oh, I put it twice? That's dumb. Alright, so I chose it in the hierarchy, or what is it called here in Unreal? What do they call this? What do they call this? Inspector, hierarchy, something, something? No, I don't think it's called inspector, but you get it. I picked it in the scene elements, whatever it's called. Okay, and I will, rotate it now to 180, as we saw there, and put it upwards to the light. Let's put it exactly beneath the light here. Let's put it here, exactly here. And then put it more upwards. Okay, and wait, where were we? We were here. Yes. Okay, perfect. Okay, not super happy. Maybe put it more up and a bit more up. Okay, and then what we'll do is just to simulate the feeling already. I could see that modes don't just show up and disappear within 1 and 2 seconds, right? I'm just gonna do in the initialized particle part here. I will go with something between 20 seconds and 40 seconds. So this should now kind of simulate an actual... All right, so 100 is a bit too much. Let's go with 2. Hey, thank you for the subscription. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Hope the content is helpful for you. Let me have you in the comments. Let's get to know each other. Okay, so I put the rate here to 10. What does the spawn thing do, actually? What if it's 100? What is it doing? Nothing? Okay. Put it to 1. And here we're gonna look a bit closer. Okay. So emitter state, I'm guessing somewhere in the emitter update, I could add the amount of particles. But you know what? I think that is anyway the spawn rate. So we're good here. 100 was too much, right? 50? Maybe 50, maybe 25. And then we need to put the size here a bit bigger. So initialize particle. Let's go to scale. All right, I'm just gonna make this bigger for... Oh, this is not in the stream. Okay, so here, and I'm gonna show you what I did before. I was playing a bit with the spawn rate here. I put it to 25, and initialize particle. I was playing with lifetime minimum, lifetime maximum. We did that to 20 to 40. I'm just gonna put this here so we see what the heck we're doing. Let's put it more where it's supposed to be. And again, and then I will play a little bit with the cone size here and everything. Yeah, cool. Let's play a little bit with this. So sprite is from 1 to 50. Let's go with 1 to 100. What are we gonna get? We're getting huge results, which is kind of what we want, kind of what we don't want now, but I just will put the rate here to 10 maybe. All right, so I'm guessing how they're gonna achieve the final results, right? And I'm playing around with things, so I'll take that out. Now it's spawning a bit slower. Can that be? What is it saying here? Spawn prohibit. Okay, so let's read this a little bit. I'm gonna put it here a bit to the left. It says 0.1 value, which can be viewed as percentages. All right, percentage chance that any of the particles that were going to spawn on this frame are spawned at all. A value of 0.5 can be viewed as a 50% chance that any of the particles on this frame will be spawned. I wonder what that means. I'll keep it off for now because they didn't go so far with the details in the course. And I'll go back to where's it called? This thing, the shape location, which obviously there's a cone here, so that's kind of helpful. I need to get, I need to wrap my head around those things, like the cone, the infinite, the self. It's pretty helpful, like coming from Unity. Where these things, are not as clear as they are here. Okay, so what did we want to do? We wanted to Play a little bit with the angle, maybe have it a little bit to 80 degrees. That's a bit too far. Let's go with like 50 degrees. What are we getting here? Are we getting the same light here or not? I feel like, whoa, like this is too much opacity. So we're gonna go now, we're gonna go with like 0.5 for real. And fade offset, this is all good. Let's try 4500 in here. Let's go with a 50 in here, and let's go with a 0.25 in here. And now we're getting less opaque, as you can see, and it's being affected by the light. Is this true, or am I just imagining this? Let's see. We're gonna keep going. Let's see. We will do shape location. We did that. We have initialized particle and shape location. All right, so we're gonna make it a little higher here, like maybe 700, something like that. That's now again too much. Let's try 600 and see what's gonna happen. Okay, now the whole opacity thing is effed, basically. And now... But there is a lot of them there, however, not showing up. Okay, so let's play a little bit with the material instance. Fade offset. Keep it to 20. Let's put this back to 1, just to see where the heck things are, because they are becoming invisible slowly. But the further you... Aha! Alright, so this is getting too... It's getting too opaque too quickly, I guess. And here it's not, yeah, I'm almost crashing into it, and we don't want that. So wait, so if I put this to 50, it will be opaque faster. So if I go for 100 here, just from a feeling, right? It will be too obvious. And let's go with a 4000 here. So it's actually picking it up quicker. Like this, but it's a bit too obvious in my opinion. Let's go with 50 again. Are we gonna crash? We're not crashing. That's pretty good. Okay. Let's see. I don't know if it's gonna work or if it's not gonna work. So you said that option gives every particle a chance to spawn or not spawn. That's it. Okay. But I don't get that, honestly. Like, that option gives every particle chance to spawn or not spawn. So basically, if I put it to a 1, it will be a higher chance. So, like, the thing is, if 1 is 100%, so it's giving it 100% chance to spawn or not to spawn, that means none of the particles should spawn, right? I guess that is what I'm trying to wrestle with within my head. Yeah. So, let's keep going anyway. We'll get it at one point. I'm not going to stop there, but if you're going to explain to me, I will appreciate it. And let's go. So, yeah, that sounds good. It's a good guess so far. I'm not so happy with the size, honestly. Initialized particle again. Let's go with like 150 maybe. Let's see, 150. And maybe 80 seconds to 40 seconds. Let's see how that will feel like. All right, back to the course. Enough guessing. Back to the course. 1 is always spawn. 0.5 is 50% chance. And yes, I get that. Okay, so 1 means it will spawn all the time. Okay, I guess I never took it down. That's what I was doing wrong. Okay, so let me check that, actually. Spawn rate, so now it's 100% spawning all the time. So if I put it on 0.2, it should be 20% spawning. All right, now I get it. 0% is 0%. All right, that's cool. That's awesome. Can we do like a random here? I think we can. Random range float, yes. So now it's randomizing between a 0% and a 1%. If I do it 0.5, which is a 50% spawning and 100% spawning, it's randomizing between that and that. That's kind of cool. I like that feature. Spawn only every frame. Cool. All right. Yeah, thank you for explaining it. I appreciate that. And we're going to dive into the course again now. Thank you. So here we go.
There's not really a lot of stuff which is like perfect for it. We have the cone here. which we can use. So let's actually do that. And it comes with a couple of different things, but the most important one is actually the cone length. So let's put that to maybe 150. And we could change the cone angle as well, but overall the cone length is like the driving factor for it. So now we already have. If you would want to use a box, that is the box plane, that is a bit easier to understand for most people. So the box size is simply gonna kind of drag up a box here, and it's just gonna spawn it randomly in this box. This box right now is like 1 meter wide, tall, and deep. And we can change that. So if we go in here, you can see those different axes, right? So we want to have something which is a bit wider, but also a lot taller. So the Z component right now is going to be the main point. So let's put that to 200. So now you can see all of those spawning quite nicely in. And then let's change the width a bit.
Bro,
so
how to learn
140.
Unreal Engine from scratch?
Could be fitting. You wanted to kind of spawn inside this God Ray radius. You managed to pull that off. That's perfect.
That looks pretty cool.
So right now they just kind of pop in and out, right? So one of the most important things in a particle system is actually scaling stuff in. And we already have a scale color module in here. But right now it does come with this kind of weird default curve, which just starts it at 1 and then fades out to 0, which is not too bad for the fading out part, but we obviously want to fade it in as well. So if you go in here, close it up, you just click somewhere and press enter, or you can double click on the part of the right mouse button. And no, it was okay. Just use enter. Not quite sure what's up with this one right now.
So scale color controls the opacity, or what?
On the single keyframes, like any other keyframe driven.
So now it
program,
will
click on
fade away, basically.
This is the value. This is the time point. Those are normalized, so this is always the entire lifetime. So even though this shows here 1, this is, for example, if the particle system exists for 6 seconds, this is going to be the 6-second mark. So grab the first pin, move it to 0, so here, 0. And then we will try to kind of fade it in nicely. So this thing can move a bit back. And if you select those and press right mouse button and auto, it will kind of.
So let's try to guess how to do this. Now I kind of have a good idea. And to answer your question, bro, how to learn Unreal Engine from scratch, bro. What you need to do, bro, is basically, start learning anything about Unreal. There are pretty cool courses out there. The thing is about Unreal, it's like a whole engine that you create anything with. You can make a game, you can make a movie, you can make anything. So first you need to determine something that you can focus on. So for example, in our case, we're focusing on visual effects. So if you have that one thing to focus on, if it's like environment art, visual effects, you look up a course on that, for example, and you start learning. That's it. But you cannot learn all of it. No one can know what it is completely. Even like people who worked with it for 15 years now, when they open it now, they're like, what the heck is going on, right? So yeah, you just have to find this thing that you want to do, and you learn that section. And that's it, man. Yeah, that's how you learn from scratch. And good thing that you're joining streams like this, because you will be able to like experiment a little bit, right? See what I'm doing, try to replicate that. But I would say step 1, download and install. So download and install the damn thing. All right, good. Back to it, guys. Okay, so we'll do a opacity thingy. What is it called? Color scale. Scale is it here? Sample texture. Nope, it's probably in particle update. That makes sense. Scale color, hell yeah. Scale alpha, and we need something that has to do with a curve. Float from a curve. That's probably what we need. I didn't even pay attention in the course, but I was able to get it. That's pretty cool, guys. All right, so what was it? Left click. All right, right click, add a key. I forgot what the shortcut was. And we're gonna make it go like 0, 1, stay, and then 0, right? So this is what we're gonna do. So this is gonna be how to edit this value. It's gonna be 0. That's probably the time. Yes. So if we edit this to 0.2, it's gonna be the second 0.2, right? In terms of the lifetime of the particle, which is decided by the lifetime element in the initialized particle, right? So it's all like, ooh. Perfect. If you downloaded it, perfect. What sections are you interested in? Like environmental art, film, visual effects. Let me know, and then I'll let you know exactly where to go. Okay, so 0.2 here means it's in its lifetime, it's the 20% lifetime. Does that make sense, guys? And here 0 means the value is actually 0. So we're gonna add another key, add a key, right? And we're gonna go here with a 1 for its value, and this is gonna be 0.8. I know this is not organic, but we're just gonna go, if you're so intimidating by a curve, right? And then you put this to 1 and then 0. So don't get too intimidated by a curve. Curves are fun, curves are interesting. Right click, auto, and this basically means, you see how now it's connected, it's a bit smoother than before, and before it was like tsak, 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 like this. Now it's smoother. Okay, so auto this damn thing, right? So he says installing the damn thing. Yes. What sections do you want to learn? Yes, because it's not just about Unreal. Unreal is a big tool. It's a big tool. Okay, back to it. Yeah, so now we have that curve that actually do that opacity, and if it is clear to you here, if it's not that clear to you not right now, we're gonna make an initialized particle and put those lifetimes to something very quick, 0 and 1. And now it's gonna spawn very quickly and despawn very quickly. You see how it's going? Okay, I'm just gonna put more rate here. Like, give me 50. All right, give me 100. So, and we're gonna click away because those are annoying me right now. So you see how it's going from opaque to, and actually it's a bad value here. Let's do 1 and a 2. So it's showing up very slowly and then disappearing very slowly as well. And that is what the scale here, that's what the scale color did for us. Oh, damn. It didn't save. I wonder why that is. Why did it not? Oh. That's another one we added. Ha, lol. Okay, so good. Now it's saved. Now we have it working. Okay, so it's going 0 opacity to 1. What I would do is even put the 0 here a little further, just so we get that clean 0 to 1, right? And then back to 0. Okay, if pros are watching this, let me know if that's a good trick. If not, let me know too. All right, so we have lifetime minimum. All right, so let's put this thing a little bit now back to like 40 and what is it, 100? These are seconds, by the way. So now, now the problem is with putting the thing on 0. That is exactly the problem. It will take a long time to spawn depending on how much you're putting the opacity there. But you know what? Maybe we leave it like this. Maybe not. Maybe this is too much. Like 0.1 maybe is too much. Let's do 0.05 for a time and watch it grow from there. Okay, one more thing I would really like to do is change the damn texture. All right, so we made one instance for the single. Let's make one instance for the tileable texture, which we did in part 1. All right, so you say, I want to create games or animations. So sure enough, games are too big for the first thing you want to do, honestly. If you want to do animations, there's enough stuff out there, but I would recommend you go with VFX, my friend, because when you get the basic knowledge about VFX, you could take it and scale it everywhere you want, even if it was game development. All right, so why the heck is it? All right, so it's because we're deleting the actual. All right, we're deleting the actual name. So we're gonna do Tylable. It needs the instance need to still have the same name. Now I get it a little better. All right, back to here, and we're gonna choose a texture. Maybe this one. Maybe we go with something a bit more interesting, like this. Let's try this one. And now we need to update it. Don't forget, we need to come here, take the render here, this part, and you can see that these things are made of things, right? Like with the properties, emitter summary, and spawn, update, right? Particle spawn, particle update. What do those all things mean? I don't know, but the thing is going, I think, from up to down. Oh, the last thing it's computing is sprite renderer. So let's do the sprite render here to make the Tylable texture, save the damn thing, and basically go to scale color. Yeah, I regret that decision. And we're gonna have it scale up very quickly. And what we'll do too is that 100 second is a bit too much, man. It's a bit too much here. All right, so lifetime minimum. Let's do 50. That could be a good one. So how do I start? Yeah, well, here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna go to my channel, and you're gonna check the video before that one. So if you go to my videos, not the podcast videos, there's a video before that one where we started. You click on it, you watch the whole damn thing, because it has everything you need to know for now and to experiment with. And then you just join on the stream every day, and then we will get you there to understand how Unreal works. Does that make sense? If not, check out the other series I made. It's all for free. So that is what I would suggest to you to do. Otherwise, there's a lot of cool courses you could buy if you have the money. Just drop by the Discord, add me on Discord, and we'll talk about it. No worries. All right, I can take you through the whole process. Okay, so yeah, we got this running. Oh my god, now this is way too much. The spawn rate needs to chill, bro. So like 20 maybe max, and let's see how would that look. Yeah, we're kind of getting there. I hate how boxy these are, honestly, so we probably need to change that again to something that fades on the edges, something like that. All right, that makes sense. See, now we're learning why we should not do things, and that is not so bad, I feel. But it you know, the single was better. The single was better, definitely. However, if there is a way we could rotate that in the update here. Oh, update means it will rotate all the time? All right, let's put it to the test. Rotation force. Mesh rotation force? No. Update mesh rotation. What do we got in here? What do we got in here? Is it gonna rotate all the time? I think it is, right? So here's what we're gonna do. Rotation rate 90. Oh, it's updating all the time. This is so annoying. Okay, so just for debugging, we're gonna go with 0 here because this is annoying. So it's randomizing between 0 and 50 seconds. That's also annoying. Let's go back with 20. And yeah, let's see. So is it rotating the thing now? All right, so what we're gonna do is, actually, I feel like it should be in the spawn state. All right, we're gonna look into the spawn state. Rotation, initialize decal orientation, initial mesh orientation, around point. And believe me, I have no idea what's going on here. I've never experimented with any of those. It's just that I've done VFX in Unity, and I'm trying to guess where those things are in Unreal. Initialize mesh orientation. Initial decal orientation. I don't want the orientation per se. All right, but maybe this one again, I guess. Maybe. Let's see. I just put my Discord. Yeah, I just put my Discord there. You could just add me there. 10. All right, so let's see. So let's do a random. I'm so not used to Unreal, but it's fun, honestly. All right, so let's do something between 100 and 360, or maybe minus 360 to 360. Let's see what's gonna do. Is it gonna randomize? I feel like the texture is now less repeatable. Repeating? Is that true? All right, here's what we're gonna do again. Minus 360 on this, minus 360. So it's randomizing between the angles, right? Let's see what's gonna happen now. I hate those 0-second, like, quick showing up and then going type of particles. It's not so bad. It's not so bad. I can still see the edges. I hate those edges, but you know what we're gonna do? We are gonna get our hands dirty with some Krita. All right, so let's get to Krita, everyone, and let's get to the damn thing and clean it up, and then we could actually revisit. So here we go. Krita is open. Krita is an alternative to Photoshop. It's free, open source, and yeah, add me there. I'm just gonna add me there. Yeah. Okay, so dark, and here we go. Let's just try something, right? I want a cool texture. I mean, obviously the textures they made in the course are way better, but that's the experience, right? These people know what they're doing. Okay, cool. All right, so we're gonna save that one now. And Krita, we're gonna call it experiment. I'm gonna call TX first for I don't know how to write experiment. We're gonna call it X. What's it called? Single tileable, whatever, right? It's just gonna be something. For now, we're not working on our game, so it's gonna be fine. We're not working in a team. We're just testing and learning and effing around. So let me get that file first now. I think it's in documents, honestly. Woo. Here we go, Krita. Where is it? Yeah, that one. Oh, I saved the actual file. I'm not used to Krita. Okay. Shift Control S. Then we choose JPEG, for example. That's one of the cool ones. All right, let's go with 50 and export and click. Put it here. Boom. Done, right? Okay. Oops. Did I just add a new one? What? Is there a new... Okay, that's weird. So anyway, let's pick up that one texture then. We called it X, right? TXX. Yes, single tileable. That's the one. Ooh, it's not so bad. It's not so bad. Let's go with like 0.5, honestly, for the general opacity. You know what? That modes are way like... They're way down there with the opacity. So let's go 0.1. Honestly, 0.05, I guess. Like, the thing is not so bright. Modes are not that bright. Are they now? Yeah, that's fair-ish. Yeah, I'll go to the bathroom. I'll be right back, people. So, be right back. Be right back. This is fun. back to it. All right, mate. We're back to it. Hopefully it's a local issue here. All right, so what's happened? Well, hi, Jack. The stream title looked really interesting, so I hopped in. Just wanted you to let you know. All right, let's put this thing here. Boom, boom. All right, so what's happening? I just want you to know that the stream's FPS dropping heavily, so it might be difficult to follow. Wish you a good stream. Hopefully it's a local issue. All right, yeah, we can test that. No worries. Wait a second. Shatsi, can you drop on the stream? Tell me if it's lagging. Anyone, if you can, and if anybody has the same issue with it being, you know, laggy or whatever, do let me know. Indeed, it's probably on YouTube though, the issue. So let's see. Thank you for letting me know, my friend Yumi Edge, actually. So it's the YouTube one, actually, Shatsi. All right. God. All right, we're back, everybody. Let's see. Where did we leave off? I left off, actually. Let's put the recording back. All right, we're back. Let's go. Let's get to the course. So, oops. Yeah, where we were here. Let's check. There was the scale color, right? Unreal. And what did we do with Unreal? Basically, we did a. Yes, we were changing. Nope, not lagging. Someone needs better internet. Okay. Thank you. It's a local issue, it seems. I'm sorry, but the whole stream will be available as an edited version. Okay. Good. Let's go here. Let's see. We got the texture spinning, I guess. We achieved that somehow. All right, yeah. So back to the course, honestly, because I'm a bit lost.
So, back to linear. So it stays at 1. Here we kind of fade it in. Yeah. So if we have this is already a good start. A good tip if you want to adjust those things a bit more in detail. So let's say this one we want to fade in just pretty smooth at the start and then slowly kind of ramp up. So if we put that straight up to auto, it's going to create this weird curve. So that's not really what we want. So let's put it to break. And now we can take the... Right, wait. Now we have the individual tangents, which we can kind of control. And this is a bit weird to do in here. So a really good way of like having a bit of a nicer time adjusting curves is going here and show this curve in the curve overview. And this is going to open it up in here, which is a way bigger graph, way easier to adjust. And you can also type different things in here. So do this, straighten it up, also use break maybe. This looks fine. And then we can use this tangent and just kind of move it down, right? So, and you can now see here how this kind of behaves. So if we have this now, let's take a look at how this actually works out in the engine. In the engine, it now slowly fades in and slowly fades out. Pretty decent already. But there's obviously more things which we can do. And one thing which can look nice on stuff like this is to also scale it up over lifetime. So we want to start those at like the full size already.
That's good to know. Thank you.
But then afterwards, let's make it scale up a tiny bit, which creates a very subtle but nice little parallax effect. This.
The size.
And just adds a tiny bit more motion to it, because that's what we kind of want. We want stuff to kind of move.
So it's scaling from 0 to 1, basically.
Forward, or at least make it look like it's moving forward. And
it's moving forward. All right. That's a nice trick, honestly. I didn't think about it like this. So let's do that. Let's do just that. All right. So what can we do? Let's go back to Unreal and get that thing going. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go sprites All right, first let's adjust the scale color, the thing we did here. And one of the main things that we need to do here is basically click on this, and now we're gonna get the bigger graph. Then we're gonna make sure that these two are on the same value. There we go, which is 1. And then we're gonna break it. All right, so let's pick both of them, right click, and we're gonna break them. And when you break them, you have access to this here, right? So we're gonna make them stay at on 1. No other motion other than this. And then we're gonna break it like this. Yeah. And we're gonna make it go up quicker, I feel. Yeah, and stay there for a while. And then it drops down like that. Okay, that is opacity. Okay, now we need sprite size or scale. We have scale color. Which one did they play with? Can anybody remind me of that? Unreal. Here we go. It was called scale sprite size. Okay, so we're gonna add it here. Scale sprite size. Yes, here it is. Okay, scale sprite size. And we're gonna go and put this again in here. And we saw that Bjorn was playing with this a little bit with the axis here. Oh, it's broken. Okay, let's do auto actually. Auto. All right, so now when I do this, it is doing what exactly? Auto. Here we go. And we're down like that. Okay, that is awesome. All right. It can do this curve, and now it should basically technically scale. Where are my particles, I guess? What is happening here? Why are they so down? What's happening? Let's get the particles going. All right, so they are too opaque, so back to 1. And now we got them back. Now they're scaling up like that. There's a lot of them. However, they are barely visible, which is an issue. Let's see how we can make them more visible. Is this an issue here? Any of those? I mean, 4,000 is an issue, it seems. But I don't want them to be too visible either. So we're probably going to change the cone then. It's not working for us. And we're probably gonna need sizes that are a bit bigger. So here's the thing. Why is it? Oh, it's taking so long because the time is so long. All right, so 2 and 4. And let's get that rate up a little bit to like 40. And click away. It's too fast, man. Let me see. I'm not so happy with that. What am I getting wrong here? The size itself, maybe? Wait, he must have changed this then. Okay, let me check the video real quick. I must be missing something.
The full size already, right? So, but then afterwards, let's make it scale up a tiny bit, which creates a very subtle but nice little parallax effect. This, and just adds a tiny bit more motion to it, because that's what we kind of want. We want stuff to kind of move forward, or at least make it look like it's moving forward.
Oh yeah, it's 1 and 1.1. Okay, so this is what we're doing. That's what I missed here, and that happens. That's fine. You see, like, immediately you're not happy with the result. You're like, okay, something is wrong here. So, wait, how to do this here? I don't know. It doesn't give me the controls, or at least I'm not aware of the controls. Alright, so this is too much. And we're gonna press F to get it bigger. And we're gonna do it so it's 1.1. Not 1.8. Nothing like that. Oh, come on, dude. How to navigate? Right click. Okay, perfect. And let us do the curve here properly. Basically, damn it, keeps moving. Not used to not moving it with a middle mouse. Oh, hey, we got it. That's perfect. Finally. Okay. Now we want to... You see, like, one thing you get wrong, right? The whole thing doesn't work anymore. This is how versatile like how versatile visual effects can be, like real-time visual effects. Okay. So we got that going, and let's get back to where is it? What is it called? What is it called? Think. Initialize particle. And we're probably gonna go with 20 here. It's again too slow. All right, so this is too slow, and the rate needs to chill again to 20. All right, and now the opacity can chill even more. 0.0, what was it? 0.05. Perfect. We got it going. Yeah, that's a bit too much. Maybe 0.1. Let's see. So this is what should be visible. And here we're not getting much of that. Okay. What is the issue here? Is it the rate? 50. It looked better before. Okay, back to the course.
From here on, there is the actual movement, which we want to have for all of that. So let's go in here and add a so-called curl noise force. What this is doing is, I'm going to explain it a bit more in detail in the next module.
Sounds like turbulence.
But it basically gives you a random direction where stuff is moving towards you. See that? Just move somewhere. And with all of that, for those kind of particles, keep it very, very simple. You really don't want to have like a lot of motion in those, because that can get super noisy. So keeping it on like 3, 30, you see them really, really subtly move, but it's really not that much. You can also activate here pen noise field that will make sure that it gets like random values kind of all of the time, because it scrolls through a 3D grid. And yeah, then one thing which you want to use is so-called drag, which is basically adjusting the velocity it's receiving over a period of time. Imagine it like a brake on a car. The longer you push it down, the slower you get. That's kind of what it's doing automatically. We have the drag here, and we're going to randomize that because we don't want the same values all over the place. So let's put it to 0.5 and also 0.8. And then the curl noise force will move it at the start a bit more, and then it slowly starts slowing down. But at that time, it already kind of scales up. So there's still some motion in there, but it's a bit of a different motion. So it's a bit more wispy looking. And one quite big factor, which we should also look into, is now actually getting the color values right and making it look a bit more interesting, because now we have the scaling right, we have like the fading in and out, all of that looks good. But we still scale them like kind of uniformly, and also the entire thing looks way too strong. This is not really how that would look like. So one big point is also the sprite rotation mode, which is currently set to unset. Therefore, it just spawns it always perfectly aligned upwards. So if we go into here again, you can see them just like spawning perfectly in the square form. So all the time, if we change that to random, you will see them spawning randomly rotated.
Oh, therefore, that's how you do it. Okay, that's pretty cool. All right, so back to it. Unreal, here we go. That's pretty cool to know. So initialize particle. We gonna go with what is it called? Sprite rotation mode random. And this is what I was thinking. I was doing with the update mesh orientation or mesh rotation force. This is Now we are set for success. I've got to delete that too, and here we go. So we have that thing going. It is slow. It is expanding. Okay, we need the other forces that he added. For example, the turbulence or whatever it's called in Unreal. What was it? Curl noise. Curl noise. What is it? Curl noise force. Okay, so curl noise force should allow it to move a little bit. Noise strength 10. Noise frequency 50. I think I forgot what he did here. Just gotta go back a little bit here. Boom. Go back a little bit.
So let's put it to.
So this is the drag. We're gonna go back a little more.
Just move somewhere. And
curl noise.
With all of that,
yes.
For those kind of particles, keep it very, very simple. You really don't want to have like a lot of motion in those.
Okay, so
because that can get super noisy.
Okay. And did I put it in the right thing? Particle update? Yes. Okay, so that is at least correct. So if I save it, it should update it, right? But we are not moving, at least not even a little bit. So is that due to us having something here that we set up? I'm wondering. All right, so I'm just gonna compare my setup to his. He has a solve force and velocity at the end. We don't have that. Okay, so let's add that. Maybe we are actually lacking that. Solve forces and velocity 1. We're gonna delete that one here. And let's see what's gonna happen. Oh yeah, here it is. It is moving. Ooh, it's moving pretty quickly. It's too quick. We need to chill a little bit on the quality here because it's already reaching the maximum while streaming as well. Low. Okay, that's too low. Shit. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is scale this up here. And the way we can lock Unreal's like actual rendering, because right now it's on 4K. Like, can I lock this to like be 1080 or whatever? Is this doable? Other than just scaling the whole thing like a dumbass like this. That's funny. Okay, so now we're moving up there, as you can see. Let's see what we can do with this. This is pretty cool, honestly. So I don't want to put this thing like all the way down. I want it to be a bit higher still. So I don't want it to be a 1. I think it's too boring. I don't want it to be 2. I also don't want it to be a 3, maybe a 4. And maybe, you know what? It's 2 less too. 8. Let's do 35 on this one. See what's going to happen. I still think one of them is too much. It's going on for like 10 seconds. Let's do 5 seconds. Let's do 2 seconds. See what happens. Oh yeah. Here we're getting it. We're getting it indeed. These things are way too opaque, honestly. And the actual con is not working that well, so we're gonna change that. Let's get more rate. Give me like 70 particles on this. And where is my cone? Yes. Okay. So cone length 600. That is why. Right? Is that too low? How do I know what am I working with? Why is it so weird? Okay, material instance. Let's go with a 1. Okay, so what is happening here? Obviously, they're spawning exactly beneath the light. Oh, is that the light actually affecting the particles here? Let's see. Or is the light affecting the particles? That's probably the case, honestly. So if I press G, put the light here, I pick that light. Alright, let's put it more up. Oh wait, that's the particle itself. Can I touch the environment? Is it this one? Is it... Oh, it's this one. Okay. Yeah, I feel like this can go more up. I'm touching the environment, Mad VFX. I'm sorry. Don't get mad at me. Okay, let's see. We need... where is it? Where's those light bulbs? Here's one. Let's put it more up. That's probably stupid what I'm doing, but let's see. Oh, okay. I get it now. I get what's happening. What do you say? What is it? I have just installed Ryzen 5. Okay. With RTX. Okay. Cool. Good job. Yeah. Cool. Good job, man. And how are you having fun with it? Okay, so that is the cone so far. The light is probably ruined. It was probably correct before. But I just want to see what we can do here. I'm experimenting. That's part of it. And where's that light? The bulb, the 19 one. So this is just like an Omni light or what? Yeah, it is. Which doesn't make sense in this case. I think it makes sense more here. But I think they put it so it shows the cables, I guess. But so yeah. Okay, let's keep it here. Cool. The cone. What is the cone doing? Cone. And let's do 200 on this. Let's see what we can do. Let's do 400. All right, now it's getting bigger. It's not 1,500 anymore. That was one of the problems that we had. Okay. And cone angle, inner angled, can that be bigger? Like 100? Would that make it look like a cylinder or spread it even more? Let's see what's happening here. Sorry for the... Ooh, look at that. All right, that's way too fast, dude. Now we need the drag. Now we need the drag. And even if it's exaggerated right now, it's not final. All right, Magic Cut, I get it. Thank you for mentioning your setup. Yes, so we got that going. Let's do the drag and keep this going. Let me just do one more thing here. I'm gonna stop the recording a little bit. I'm a little bit busy with like 4 things at the same time. Give me a little time. Yeah, nah, this thing is so annoying. Give me a second here. Image link, texture, text, video, cast, capture card. Oh my god, what is happening? Goal, alert, chat box, viewer ranking. What the heck? This is so funny. Yeah, whatever. We're gonna ignore this a little bit. You know what? I think I'm almost there, honestly. Let me do this. I'll be right back with you guys. Okay, capture cursor. Cool, whatever. Yeah. Cool. All right, we're back here. So, yeah, let's keep it going. Here we go. We need drag. So, yeah, let's put the recording again here, and let's get the what is it called? What is it called? Come on, dude. Jack, focus. Okay, drag here. In drag, we go. Boom. And right now it's on 1. Do we need a higher? Like, what is 100? It will not move anymore, right? Oh, it's still moving. Oh, the drag should be behind the solve velocity, right? So if it's 100 now, it's not moving anymore. Yep. So we need something between 2 and the 3. All right, let's do a randomization in here. Random range float. All right, so let's do 3 and the 6. And this way we're limiting that curl noise a little bit, and we will be able to see what we're doing a little bit more. And you know what? The cone is a bit too much right now. So, Coney, what's up? You need to go a little down here, like you were at 0. How does that look? It's too much. All right, so let's do like 10. And let's reduce the rate. The rate is too much. 70 is too much. All right, so 40. Are we looking 40? And I like this idea of like making it 0.5 to 1. So now it's 50% spawning. It's randomizing between 40% spawning and 100% spawning. That's pretty cool. All right, so let's do like 0.2 here. Here we go. Yeah, that is too... How to put it together? All right, so the lifetime now is a bit too much. It needs a bit more. More time. It's too fast is what I'm trying to say. 10 and a 5. Yeah. All right. Opacity needs to chill a little bit. Give me 0.5 here. Maybe a 0.3 even. Yeah. Now we're getting there slowly. Here we go. Hell yeah. All right. We can still play a little bit with the cone. We're polishing things, although we don't have to. But it's getting there slowly, basically. Okay, let's go back to the tutorial and see what is happening. I will go here. Here? Okay.
So keeping it on like 330, you see them really, really subtly move, but it's really not that much. You can also activate here.
Yeah, we saw this. We're going to skip a little bit.
Adjusting the
and he adds a random on that.
Period of time.
Let's keep going.
The longer you push it down, the slower you get. That's kind of what it's doing automatically. We have the drag here, and we're going to randomize that because we don't want the same values all over the place. So let's put it to 0.5 and also 0.8. And then the curl noise force will move it at the start a bit more. And then it slowly starts slowing down. But at that time, it already kind of scales up. So there's still some motion in there, but it's a bit of a different motion. So it's a bit more wispy looking.
Just going to compare it.
One quite big factor, which we should also look into, is now actually getting the color values right and making it look a bit more interesting.
Color values, let's go.
Now we have the scaling right, we have like the fading in and out, all of that looks good. But we still scale them like kind of uniformly, and also the entire thing looks way too strong. This is not really how that would look like. So one big point is also the sprite rotation mode, which is currently set to unset. Therefore, it just spawns it always perfectly aligned upwards. So
yeah, and then the rotation is allowed, yes.
And then another really big point, we won't really animate any of the color values in here because it doesn't really make a lot of sense. But what we want to do is we go into the color module, just click onto it. And first of all, you could adjust the colors in here. So now it's pink, if you want that. Not quite sure.
A bit
why
blue, right? Like a bit bluish.
You can change it to something slightly bluish if you want to. But the main value we want to adjust here is the alpha. And we're going to put that to, let's say, 0.1. So it can be quite subtle. Maybe 0.15 actually looks decent.
Yep.
Yeah. So with stuff like this, you always want to make sure that it's really subtle.
So we need to make sure this thing is subtle. I mean, it depends on the style, right? So like if you're going with a more realistic style, you're going for something subtle, I guess. Yeah. If there's some stylization here or something, that if there's a point you want to emphasize, I guess that's also a point to keep in mind. All right, so let's go back to our cinematic camera. Okay, this is way too much, right? This is way too much. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We will go inside of our colors here. So initialize particle. Here's the color, right? So we'll go to our alpha value and reduce that all the way to like 0.3. All right, we're gonna go even further, 0.19. I kind of want it to be a bit visible, like not too visible, but a bit visible. A bit more visible than what it is in the cores right now. And I also noticed that in the oh, that is one of those settings things, isn't it? Like the cinematic one. All right, so what do we have in view distance, anti-aliasing, post-processing, shadows, global illumination? Is that the one? All right, no. Reflection, textures, effects, cinematic. All right, now it's barely visible if it is cinematic. Epic, high, medium. All right, so foliage, shading. All right, so what is this shading? What does it do? Okay. Landscape. Okay. So why does he have some type? Okay, so I'm just gonna go here, put it on epic. Oh yeah, here it is. All right, so it's somewhere here. Is it this? No. Is it this? No. Is it this? No. Is it this? Yes, it's this. Does it exist in high? Yes, it does. Okay, we're gonna keep it like this then, which is the shadows. All right, got it. Perfect. Yeah, that's much better. I was like comparing myself the whole time. I was like, why is it not working? And the lights were just effed a bit. And I think that's the thing that we were controlling here. Like, I think that's the spotlight we were controlling, right? That was this thing. Where is it? This one, this one, this one, this one, this one. Yeah, this one. I think that is the thing that we were controlling here. And now it's effed a little bit because we messed with it a little bit too much. So we have to return it to where it was. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done that. I'm controlling the cinematic camera. Let me go to camera. Where's my camera, dude? All right, so I'm just gonna write camera. Yes, can we please lock this? Is there a way to lock this in Unreal? Copy, save, place, replace, frame, select snap, stop pointing, no, edit, visibility, pivot, group, attached to, blah, blah, blah. Why can I not lock the camera? Oh, here. Oh, no, that is not it. Okay, no, I don't know. I really don't know. Let's ignore that for now. I'm still controlling the camera. Ouch. Please don't. How do I get out of here? Get me out of here, man. Okay. We're back to the actual... Hi, Hassan. How's it going? Nice to have you here. Okay, let's see. So this thing is barely visible now. So what we'll do is definitely go into the material instance, get a bit higher, go back in here and look at it from afar like this here and check if it is doing too much stuff. Right now it's way too visible. Let's give it a little bluish color like they did. I like warmer blue, honestly, but that is way too much. We need to go a little less with the opacity here and a little less with brightness, I feel. Let's see. It's too blue still. Let's see. All right, that's cool. Let's go down with like 0.14. Let's keep checking. That is not so bad. Too many particles, maybe. That could be. You know what? Let's go spawn rate. Let's go with like 20. All right, let's see. Let's go back to the cinematic camera. Yeah. And one more thing to do. Get the particle a bit down, right? That could be one thing we could do still. Oh man, I hit the cinematic camera. Down. And go back to cinematic camera. Now we can bring it even lower, basically. All right, click away. Hit escape. And let's see what's going to happen. Yep, we got some modes. Hell yeah. It's pretty cool. Let's play with it a little bit. Two less, right? Like, let's go 35. Let's look at it now. maybe. That's not so bad. Now I wonder if you go through it like walking, right? I'm gonna walk through it. Is it gonna disappear? Yes, it's disappearing. That's pretty awesome, man. Hey, we learned this. It's exciting. That's awesome. Cool. Let's get the spawn rate to do like 40 or something, honestly. And maybe, just maybe, the cone is a bit too high. So let's go with like 300. And let's go back again. What did we do in all the rate? What was it? Okay, yeah, that's a bit too much, dude. That's definitely too much. One more thing I would like to play with here. You know what? Size. Let's do 50 and 150. And let's go back to the... This is maybe too much too, you know? Like, let's do a 4. 8 seconds and 4 seconds, something like that. Let's randomize between those two. This is a fun, like, practice, honestly, because it's just so... you can manipulate it the way you want, and you get to know what Niagara is all about. And yeah, you get the basics of particles. I like that. Good job there, Mad VFX. Good job there. I do think I do notice it a bit too much right now. So what I will do is I'll take the 4 seconds to 5 seconds. Take this to 9 seconds, right? Now it's not as obvious anymore, and the cone can get a little bigger with the fact that it is, you know, just 50 degrees. Let's try 60 degrees in the, you know, in the opening, right? So yeah, that is, here we go. Now we're getting better results here. Too much still, but that's nothing that we can't solve with the spawn rate. And let's go down with 35. All right, so back to the course, guys. Let's not waste any further time here. Here we go. And if you're bored of my coverage, definitely go and buy the course on your own. That's what I encourage everybody. Just go on your own base, you know, learn the way you want to learn, things like that. Okay.
Much over a long period of time, because it just gets kind of noisy. So even this is already kind of stretching it, but it looks fine. And then also another thing which we can do to make it look a bit more interesting, we change the spawn rate from 2 to 2 to 3. So sometimes it spawns one more. And then also the shape location can be a bit taller even, right? So just to kind of make them spawn in and out a bit more interestingly. Now we have this very subtle.
So what did you do now? What did you do?
Interestingly.
Okay.
Now we have this very more interesting. We change the spawn rate from 2 to 2 to 3. So sometimes it spawns one more. And then also the shape location can be a bit taller even, right? So just to kind of make them spawn in and out a bit more interestingly. Now
so you added a randomization to the spawn, basically.
Stuff going on here. So jump in here. So you can see some of those dots here, which look pretty decent. And
I like that it's going away a little bit from the cone. That's adding a bit more atmospheric sense to it, or realistic sense. Let's keep going. I'll note that down to do it later. Second
emitter. Yeah. And those would be like the individual little things flying around. And what we can do is, first of all, rename this. This is going to be the mode splatter.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can literally copy and paste this module, and we're just going to rename it to single.
Single. All right.
And in here, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to exchange the sprite renderer in here to the modes single. Therefore, we spawn the big splashes. Yeah, so we can keep most of the stuff as it is, but you can already see that looks pretty weird. So the main portion we're going to change is the spawn rate, which we can, well, push up quite a lot, at least for now, just to kind of showcase something nicely. But change the initial size to something super small. So let's say 325 or 326, 326. And we can keep the box plane size similar, but we can also kind of just make it a bit bigger so that it's overshooting a bit, you know, like individual sprites kind of spawning somewhere around here. So this would be like the starting point, and there's obviously a couple more things we can adjust for those because they don't or shouldn't be visible for that long. So we can kind of push those together. Let's say 5. We delete this one here. We just kind of fade it in and out. It's already put to break, so did I select 2? Okay, yeah. So this kind of fade it in just very quickly, and then in the middle it's actually completely visible, and then it fades out again. So those can be a tiny bit more visible, so let's put it to 3.5. And there's not a lot more stuff which we will need for those. We can actually go with a bit more noise strength on those, so they should be able to move a bit more because
so smaller details but move a bit more, right? So this is what we're aiming for here, so let's get in onto it. Damn, this thing is laggy. Okay. All right, so I kind of like how the box is giving the shape there in the course, so we're just gonna go with that again. Let's go with 250, 250, and 250. Okay, and let's see what happens now if that's the case. We have them spawning above the light. Let's make them spawn beneath the light and see what happens. All right, I think we need the material instance now. You know what? It's probably going to be the actual color in the initialized particle. I'm getting used to it. That's pretty cool. Thanks, Mad VFX. That's pretty cool. That you made a course so fun, actually, to like learn a skill that is so difficult. Okay. All right. So are we getting details beyond the light now? Do I need more opacity on this? Okay, and why is it? Okay, so maybe it's not entirely in the middle here, right? So that's the issue. It is in the middle. Okay, so where are we? Why are we getting these? Why are we getting visibility on one side and then not on the other side, I guess? Let me try to think a little bit about it here. Can we put it more up, maybe? Oh yeah, now we're getting out of the cone. That's pretty cool. When it gets out of the cone here, that's pretty cool. I like that. Let's put it more here, honestly. Just a little bit. See what's gonna happen. Why are we getting nothing on the other part? Just wondering. Okay, let's go with a bigger box then. Sorry. Yeah, the box. Let's go with like 350 maybe. No, let's see what happens. And let's click away. Yeah. That's pretty cool. But that's too far away again now. Yeah, that's definitely too much. Okay, let's go to 50 again then. It's fine with me. The initialized particle with the alpha can go down. That is fine. And again, maybe a 300 on the box. on all of its axes. And let's see. Yeah, that's looking now like mode slowly. I like that. All right, so this is gonna be general mode. General mode. General modes, and we're gonna do the. We are going to get the. Let me get some coffee here. And I dropped the coffee on my clothes. That's awesome. Okay. Now general modes, and let's do small modes that will be moving all over the place, right? So what's happening in here? Oh man, my PC is reaching its limit, that's for sure. Damn. All right. So what we'll do here is we'll end this and make it rest a little bit. My PC is taking too much. Yeah, too much load basically. Let's see what we can do. Gonna stop this too, just so we get more quality on the mainstreams. And yeah, we're gonna go back here, and we're gonna end this. All right, sprite renderer, and what we're gonna do with sprite renderer. Let's see. Yeah, those are the small modes. We're gonna go sprite in the renderer here and get a texture that is going to be a small spot that is blurred. So we're gonna go between this. Let's try this one, honestly. The modes tones, right? What else do we have? Tileable SL spots, and the spot one is not. Just notice I was changing the actual shader. Okay, so we're gonna duplicate this and double click it, and no. Yeah, we're not gonna do that. Sorry. Close it. I've mixed the material with the material instance here. All right, we're gonna close it. We're gonna force delete it. We're gonna duplicate the actual instance modes. Small blurry. All right, blurry. Let's check it out. Let's get the blurry one. I think this is the blurry one, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's the 64 pixels one. And we will get that in here by picking the blurry one, putting it here. And now we're kind of gonna go a little crazy just to see what we're doing here and which particles are we editing. So I'll go a bit crazy with like whatever debug color. What is the most debug color there is? Pink, right? So we're just gonna go with pink now and watch this getting created, basically. Okay, just gonna minimize here a little bit. And did we... Wait, what happened here, dude? Why is this now the blurry one? Oh. Okay, no. I did a mistake here. Let me see. Which one did we have here before? We had spot pig, I guess, or the experimental one, right? The one that we named X. Yeah, we had this one here. And in order to edit the blur one, we need to actually double click on it and then it get the thing in here. And now we're getting the blurry one actually afterwards. All right, that's pretty cool. All right, so now we're getting the blurry one and we will reduce it in the size. And the size reducing thing is in the initialized particle. We're gonna go between 5 and 3. And it's gonna look like this here. We're gonna go way low with this thing, like 1 and, which is the lifetime, 1 and 2. And let me check on opacity here. Let's go with 10 just to see where these things are, right? So we are going a bit insane right now with the amount, and I'll go a bit insane with the rate just to see what the heck we're doing, right? and we are. Okay, so this is too much visibility, like he said in the course. Man, the coffee helps, right? So particle state, scale sprite, not this, but the actual color. So what he did is he deleted that one, put that one here, like in the middle somewhere. I'll just do a little bit more organic feeling to it. A bit of differentiation between the curves, maybe something like this. So we're not copying everything one by one. And if we fail, then we fail. That's fine. Then we learn why they did it like that, right? Because they kind of just go over it and they're like, yeah, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do the curve like this, and that's it, right? But I'm not getting, the moment I see in the course that I'm not getting the purpose, I'm trying to simulate the purpose. Like same thing with the particles being blurry in Krita. I was like, why are they being blurry? So I guess we're gonna find out, right? I think with those courses that it's always, you can't help it. It's just a human thing. They know what they're doing. They've been doing this for years. They do things out of habit. And, me too. Like, I don't explain everything. But when I don't understand why I have to do something like that, I try to learn it the hard way. That's it. All right, back to it, guys. Less drag on this thing. 1 and a 2. And more curl noise on this thing. Give me like 15. Game Dev Podcast. Nice to have you here, my friend. And yes, so now it's actually going around and around and around. We will probably go with like 120 on this frequency. Yeah, now it's really nice, dude. Like, it's really nice. All right, so what we'll do too is like maybe up to 4 seconds. Like, what the heck is gonna happen, right? Yeah, I mean, the last thing we want this to be is a fire ember, right? We want it to be dust. We don't want it to be moving too much. Like, we need drag on this thing like nothing else. So like higher drag, definitely, for it not to be like, fire embers or simulating that. And we need it to move a little more. Let's try 25. Let's see what's gonna happen. That's pretty neat, honestly. Okay, and now what we'll do is back to the color. I will get our color from here. Hopefully I can do copy, which we can, obviously. And we will do a paste in here. All right, that looks pretty cool. And we will lower the opacity that we put up to 10 here, maybe back to 1. And I don't see a lot of differences. That could be a good thing. That could be a bad thing. But I kind of want to see the difference. So what I'll do is I'll go crazy on this. 10,000 on the curl noise. I still don't see difference. I will go crazy with the color again. We still have it in the backlog, so we'll do crazy color again. Where are we missing here? What are we missing? Where are my particles? Why are they not spawning anymore, right? The reason is, well, 1 is too less, obviously. Yeah, 10. All right, so did you see that? Now it's simulating the ember. All right, so we need less. So I'm going to go with 100 now, just to see what's happening. 100 is moving, definitely. Right, it's there. Everything's there. We're going to paste the color. Right, click, paste, and the color will be there from before. And here we have them moving. Are they moving too much? You're damn right. They're moving too much. And so what we'll do is we'll go back to the curl noise, and we're going to go with like something like 50 and check back on it again. And now we're getting those nice details that are going around and around and around. And one thing we will do is make the box bigger. That's what he did as well. I think that's a good idea. That's a great idea. 400 by 400 by 400, and maybe I'll go with a bit beyond with 800 on the, which axis is that in Unreal? Is it a ZUP or a YUP? Is there a ZUP or a YUP? I don't know. One of them, I guess. Yeah, we picked the wrong one, definitely. That's not the one I wanted to play with. It's probably the Z that goes up. Yeah. So what I'll go beyond with the Z. It's a ZUP, it seems. Okay. Yep. That's pretty good. Let's look at it again. It's barely visible. What I will do is pretty much increase the size. So 8 and 4. Yeah, that's a bit too big now, but let's see from afar. Where's my cinematic camera? Bring me my cinematic camera, damn it. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right. We'll click away. We'll look at it a little bit. Make some. Gonna study it a little bit longer. Just looking if it's too much, and it is indeed. So what we'll do, where's the curl force? Give me a random value here. All right, I'm gonna go with a random value, and we were between 20 and let's say 70, correct? And we'll look at it. That 70 is too much, bro. 50? Scale is too big, I think. Yep, that's probably what we need to look at here. Happy with it, but let's see how he polishes it in the course, actually. Boom.
So if you think about it, there's always going to be a bit of movement on individual sprites because like they just are really light. It just gives an interesting look to all of them. So have it like this, then you just kind of keep it. But those should also probably fade in and out. So we can also go in here and just click on those presets. By the way, they're kind of useful sometimes. We create a second one. Say this is, I don't know, 28. And then we just kind of move it towards it. Press 1 on those to automatically fade them in. And then they will spawn in and out. So take a look at this. We have a couple of moving things. So they move a bit too strong, and they're also just like overall a bit too big. But they're going into the right direction. So if we go in here and we say, yeah, let's just kind of jump in here, make them smaller. Could already do the trick. Let's see. So, yeah, there's a couple of them just kind of move a lot more.
Yeah. He's leaving them for a little longer, and they're a bit smaller.
So go in here, change it to maybe 2. Noise frequency on 10 gives it already an interesting movement. We don't need a lot more. And then obviously kind of turn the spawn rate down. So also a good thing for those here, you can change it from being a GPU simulation to a GPU sim, which is just for those very small particle systems, which spawn a lot
Quick
better.
tip as base rule set: CPU particles, few particles, 1 to 50. GPU particles, lots of particles, 50 more. Okay, that's good to know.
So go in here, change it to compute sim, and then another thing which you will need to do, you go into
we have a
here the calculate bounds, and you change that to fixed, and that's basically already gonna adjust it for you. So yeah, we have all of that set up here. Then you have a first version of it, which then just kind of comes down a lot to like how you would like yours to look. I would always kind of suggest when it comes to stuff like this, keep it subtle. They should really not be too strong in your scene. So always play a lot around with those alpha values and just overall the movement. Keep them visible because you're still paying performance for them being there. So if you don't see them, not that great. But always kind of keep in mind that those things are not supposed to move a lot or like really catch your attention. They're just there to kind of fill in the image
atmosphere
and look nice and support some of the other elements, which those here kind of decently, but always kind of keep it subtle.
Yeah.
Try to make sure that you just have the right feel for them when you kind of imagine those in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is actually the main lecture for the modes. There's going to be an additional module after this, which is going to be a bit more advanced, which is how I would approach this entire topic when it comes to an actual production standpoint. Because using it like this here is valid, but there's a couple of things concerning like usability as well as performance, which is simply quite hard to handle when you use it like this. So we're going to have a secondary lecture for everybody who's interested in going the extra step to build something.
We're definitely going to go the extra step. That's why I'm here. Okay. Yeah, mine looks really different, so that's fine. I'm not gonna make it exactly like the one they have, but what we'll do is adjust it a little bit, so it kind of looks like the one that they have. All right, so one thing first is I would like a bigger size on those, so we're gonna go like 200. Like we're gonna get really big size on these, and we're gonna reduce the amount because right now it's about 35. 35 is pretty good. One more thing is I'll go back here. I'll go to initialize again, and we'll go between 3 and 6 seconds. And we'll do spawn rate, blah, blah, blah. Where is it? Yeah, where is it? Is it the spawn rate? Yeah, spawn rate. That's pretty good. Okay. One thing is that we need a GPU on this. GPU simulation. Clicky click. And we'll get a fixed here. A fixed simulation, I guess it's called or something. And we need way higher curl noise. Or what is it that we need? Let me try to think. Drag is too high, I think. 1 and 0.5. And that is stopping them from going around. Yes. Okay. Higher, maybe? What happens if it's 50, for example? They're quite draggy, honestly. Now they're kind of like flies, honestly. Okay, let's see one. What is one doing? Yeah, that's kind of cool. It's kind of cool and everything. What happens if we take the drag out, though? Like, give me 30 on this thing. Yeah, less drag is kind of better. Yeah, we're definitely going to go with less drag on this. So drag 0.2 to 0.5. How does that look? All right, now let's look at it from afar. And let's get a bigger picture here, literally. And maybe an epic type of light here. Ooh, this is gonna kill my PC. Yeah, it's definitely killing my PC. Okay, I need a better PC. All right, so. Yeah, too invisible? Almost. And that said, let's play a little bit with the alpha values. 0.2. Let's play with the initialized particle here. 0.3. What happens then? All right. Ooh, that looks like snow here. But why the heck is it more visible on a black? Maybe because it's a black screen then? Behind it? Black or darker background, I guess, is 2. Save. Okay, I'm thinking the actual texture here is at fault. Let's try 20 on this. It will be more visible, right? Yeah, but we need it to be subtle, like he said. So, one more thing we're gonna do is take it a bit more upwards. Okay, but this is now not moving at all. Okay, so I can see the problem here. One of it is that this is staying for too long. Let's see if it's just staying for 2 seconds. Then it goes away. Let's see if this is gonna work. Yeah, 2 seconds. Definitely. Size is still huge, right? That's not. No. I don't like it. I don't like it. So, drag is too high here. That's what we're getting, basically. And curl noise. Yeah, kinda. Kind of what I want. Maybe a higher value even? It's moving too much. No, whoa. Chill. All right, 0.5 and a 1 maybe? Is this too much drag it was before maybe? Yeah. Okay. I like what it's doing. I hate that you can't see it up there for whatever reason. Ooh, this is epic, dude. This is better composition English. That's pretty cool composition here. Whoop. I love those coincidences. Yeah, this is pretty cool. Imagine a shot like this where a character is on the window here and he's just getting this atmospheric shot here. Hell yeah. Is it too fast, guys? What do you think? I guess we'll figure it out. I like it so far. It is definitely doing something. Too much here. Yeah, it's too much. Yep. What can we do to make it to less? Not too less, but a bit less. All right, let's check here. That's what he said, at least. Like, keep playing a little bit with the alpha values and just play around, man. So let's see. 0, 2. See what that's gonna give us. That is kinda what I like right now. Where I'm going for. Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. All right, let's check the cinematic view. Where is our cinematic camera? Wow, it's just too visible. Okay. No. We're gonna go with 0.5, honestly. What? Sorry, 0.05. Yeah. That is much better. Okay, let's go with the initialize. Initialize particle. This is going on for a bit too long. Let's go with 2 and 3, or 1 and 3 again. Nah, it's too much, man. No, it's okay. 5. Okay, so one thing I would like to do now is size. I want it to be all types of sizes between 1 and 8. And 8 is being too much anyway, so 3. Yeah, I want it to be part of it. I don't want it to be... Okay, that's too less, honestly. Let's go with 3 and 5 as a size. Taking a cup of coffee. Not so happy with the amount of drag yet. We need to keep refining the thing. All right. Maybe we're getting closer now. Is it too visible, however? Maybe it is too visible. Maybe we need to play a little bit with the alpha. All right. 0.1 on this thing. Okay. Yeah, are we getting there? I feel like we are. All right, so here what we're gonna do. We're gonna exit the view. We're gonna click on the emission and look at it from above. and put that thing exactly beneath it and go down. And then back to cinematic camera. Cinematic. Oops. What the okay, this one. Yeah, that's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. Okay. Hey, we're getting somewhere at least. Okay, so what happens? I'm just wondering, like, just as a backup, let's copy this, right? We got to a cool level, right? So it's gonna be experimental now. Gonna go with like experimental. What should we call experimental? XP? Like Windows XP? Wait, was XP actually experimental? Oh hey, thank you for the subscription, my friend. Appreciate you a lot. Let me have you in the comments. Let's chat a little bit. So initialize particle. I wanted to go with something crazy a little bit. So what was I thinking? Like, what if it's on 50? And like, what if it was like spawn count? What do we have? One. Hello, nice to have you here. What brought you to this stream? And hope you're learning. Okay. Initialize particle, so 4 and then 8. Uniform sprite size 150, 200. What should I go with? What should I go with? We're here, just to make sure that everybody's seeing what I'm doing here. So I copied this one and I disabled it, and we're experimenting here a little bit. So what I'm gonna do is put the cinematic camera a little bit to the left, to the right, sorry, so we can see more stuff on the left. I like it, honestly. I think it's pretty cool. All right, so one of the things that I want to experiment with is, first of all, the alpha value. Can we, by any chance, make that a random? We shouldn't go there. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. We can actually go there. F it. Let's go. Let's try it. So, just follow. Hey, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Let's go to alpha and 0.1 here and a 0.01. So a value between those two. What are we? Ooh. Ooh, we're getting there, dude. We're getting there, dude. Hell yeah. All right. We're going to go to the... So, I increase the rate, right? Lifetime is 4 to 8. We're doing something. Increase the drag a little bit with like a 1.5. So it's not moving as much. It's being dragged down, right? So now we have a color that is between 0.1 and 0.01, and it's white, but what we need is actually a shade of blue with a little bit like this. You know what? Let's get the actual color that we had before. So we had, let me think. Oh, it's disabled, so we can't touch it. Okay, so let's copy the hex sRGB code, right? And we will disable this. And we'll go here. And we're gonna paste that. And we will take the alpha to the value that it was on, which is 0.1, I think. All right. And this is a 0.01. All right, so that's good to know. So we're just going to copy the color here and go back to 0.01. Indeed. Okay, so I'll do something crazier, honestly. So now it's randomizing between really opaque all the way up to being a 0.1. But what I would like to do is 0.05 as max, or maybe 0.7 as max, so it's barely visible. But we're getting a lot of particle, we're getting a lot of atmospheric effect, and yeah, the whole package basically. All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna exit and go to the scene that we had here with like just sitting barely beneath the window. All right, and let's see how that looks like, honestly. It's hard to position myself again. So closer to it, of course, we're getting the fade thingy, right? and the further away from it, the more visible it is. So that when you have a character and you're walking here, it's actually fading away. Woo! We did it, guys! Hell yeah! Now that's what I'm talking about. But before we celebrate, let's take the fade distance to 2000 and here as well. And that should allow us to have more time until it fades away. Yeah, so we can have shots where it's close, like this. So like if the cinematic team on the game are coming and, you know, they're like, hey, you know, the motes are, they're fading away too quickly. You could tell them, well, no problem, you know, we could increase this a little bit, or decrease it, sorry. In that sense, and yeah, we can have a close shot like this and it will look cool. If I decrease this or increase it, what will happen? All right, so this is also a factor here, right? So if I put it to 100, now when I go inside, it's fading. I like that fade, dude. Like, that fade is cool as fuck. All right, we got it, man. We got it. It's although too visible from afar, or is it not? Is this too visible, right, guys? Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. Hello, motes. Can you go more up? And this should take it away from beneath there and make it more simulating beneath the light only. And maybe we go back to the cone. Maybe this is not so performative, right? Maybe we'll go back to the cone at one point. But this is pretty cool. I love this. All right, let me know in the comments, guys, if you like and enjoy what you're watching so far. I will continue with the optimization right after the bathroom break. We'll be right back, guys. All right, we're back. Thank you for waiting for me. And let's get into the optimization. All right, let's learn, baby. Here we go. And record should be back. All right, we're back, guys. Back to it in the optimization. Boom.
Which is
get the hell
completely
out of here.
usable in basic.
Let's do the modes mesh.
And welcome back, but this time for the advanced lecture. So there's a couple of little things I quickly want to talk about, and which are basically the reason for the advanced lecture. So if we go in here and we can see our particle system, everything looks kind of decent.
Oh wait, let's put this thing on 4K actually. Oh, it's on 4K already, or? Dude, if it's not 4K, I don't want to watch. You know what I mean? Give me 4K, dude.
But the main thing about any of this is that the overdraw is just not great. So
you go to show or to the lit one, and then you go optimization, view modes, and then
you kind of already
you go shader
played a bit of
complex. Oh my god, this is very, very horrible. All right. Are you ready to see how bad mine is? Are you guys all ready? It's gonna be horrible, dude. It's gonna be horrible. Okay. Here we go. Ooh, I am excited. So, optimization view modes. And then you go to shader complexity or Alt 8. All right, so I'm gonna be a pro here and be like Alt 8. Oh shit, that's bad. Alt 1, I guess. To go back. Oh man, that's horrible. Hell no. Okay, so let's see how we will fix this. So you see here, this is bad. This is horrible, right? Oh, actually, this is bad. So the red is bad. Hey, buddy. Hey, Sprav, how's it going, man? So bad is red, and red is on the edges here. You know what I mean? And extremely bad is like everything here in the middle. So let's see how we can optimize this. I'm really excited for this one.
around with VFX and just graphics in general. You should know that, like,
Also, you can see the difference between a pro. Like, you could see where this thing is about. Look at mine, dude. Oh my god. All right, so I'm gonna try to guess right now, like we said yesterday. Try to guess what the problem is, and then go back to it, right? So let's guess. F it, right? So 3. Okay. So now we see if it's just 3 of them. By time, though, it's gonna still be extremely bad. And that is due to transparency, I think. But here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go particle state. Where is it? Initialize particle. Oh, wait. Before we mess around with this, honestly. What was it? 35? 35? Something like that. Let's copy, paste, and instead of XP here, it's gonna be opt. So for optimization, right? So this is gonna be our optimization one. We're gonna F around and find out, right? So rate 0. What is it? 3? Did we say 5? Let's go 5, and let's make the size. I'm guessing increasing the size would help, but I do think it's the opacity here that is doing all this creepy stuff there. And I don't honestly. It's probably the addition of it that it's adding and doing all the translucency stuff. And I don't know how to fix this. So it's pretty cool that we have the course explaining that to us today. So I'm just trying to guess how I can reduce the difficulty here of rendering that thing. So one of the main things I'll do here is increase the size. And I'll be alternating between the lit view and the performance one. So this is what we're getting with bigger ones. We're getting like huge texture, of course, which is a problem. But we can definitely actually. So what is it? Alt 8 is okay. So that's a problem, man. We will go back to cone, honestly, because the box thing is not cutting it. So let's go with. Oh, you know what? Maybe it's just too big, honestly. All right, so we're gonna go with Alt 8 again. We're gonna go with 100, 100. Now it should be smaller. Okay, so size needs to chill, right? So we're gonna go between 100 and a 200. Yeah, maybe 400. And let's do. Oh, 1 is what? 1 is what exactly? Alt 4. Okay. and the size again of the box needs to chill. Let's go with 200. Let's go with 150. Let's go down. All right, Alt 4 for Alt 8 for optimization, Alt 4 for. Got it. It's still extremely bad. So, with my own knowledge right now, I don't know what's happening, right? So, we'll fix it. You know what? I wonder if I change this to GPU, what's going to happen? Especially if it's fixed, right? All right, let's go back to Alt 4. Alt 8, sorry. And I have to click here. Alt 8. Come on. Still bad. Okay, good to know. It's part of the having the effect as a translucent, I guess, but we'll learn. So let's learn.
As soon as there's multiple transparent things on top of each other, it usually gets expensive. And Unreal, you can go into like the view modes, optimization modes, and then shader complexity. And this is going to give you like a decent understanding of where you are. Honestly, those values are not perfect. And I don't want you to always look at them in terms of like, oh, it's white. I can't use that.
But it says extremely bad, Bjorn. What do you mean? It says extremely bad. So let's see.
Those values are calculated in a bit of a weird way. Like if you really want to know the actual cost of a particle system, you need to profile it quite in detail with some people who actually know what they're talking about.
Okay.
For most part. And this here is still a really good example case where even though this wouldn't be insanely bad, this is something which you can optimize quite nicely and create something out of it which is way easier to adapt, as well as just quite light on performance compared to this version. Because right now we just kind of spawn randomly a bunch of sprites, which are just, well, spawned randomly. So we never really quite know where there's going to be more overlap. So let me kind of show you and talk you through the process of how I would approach that. For this one, we do have kind of a cone shape. So
hello, real-time
if
mentalist.
we spawn stuff
I love the
randomly,
name.
there's going to be like random spots of expensive overdraw. But what if we change the entire thing from being random to something which is more deterministic?
Okay.
Which for this one is going to be a particle system with a mesh. So we have something which still gives random movement and kind of blends it together. But we're going to get a mesh to kind of just place here, basically a cone, which then kind of nicely hugs onto this shape and only has like one layer of transparency. And we just spawn way less sprites around it to kind of blend it in a bit nicer. And this is what we're going to do. So
basically we're going to have a cone that is basically the shape of a plane. Hey, nice to have you here, buddy. And then we basically have a texture that will scroll on it and then blends in with the environment. Maybe that's how we go around it. So let's see.
And
what do you do, real-time mentalist? I guess you do real-time VFX.
Again, how to use it. But for now, just middle mouse button. You can look around, shift, and middle mouse button. You can pan around. And shift A, and you're going to be able to open up this menu, which you can go to mesh, and then we're going to use a cylinder. This cylinder, we can basically almost keep like it is. So we go here to add cylinder and change it from n-gon to nothing. This is going to get rid of the upper and lower cap. And then if we kind of press tab or go here into edit mode, we have already everything selected, and we press G and then Z and then
Houdini.
Y.
Oh, that's awesome. Since when have you been working with Houdini, my friend?
This did not select everything. Let me try that a second time.
I still remember when I used to do the Houdini
A.
stream, but we'll get back to it, man. I used to do like a huge Houdini thing with like HDAs and stuff like that. Yeah, I still want to do that stuff, but I'm trying to kind of try to find like the balance of the stream plus like podcast plus like everything else. Yeah,
this time everything should be selected. So if you click on the one thing and then press A, it's going to select everything. And then let's do the same again. G, Z for the axis, and then 1, and now we moved it up exactly 1 unit, so perfectly placed.
Oh no, Bjorn, you didn't do just that, right? Wait,
so
I need to see this. I need to see if Bjorn actually did that.
So press A this time. Everything should be selected, so if you click on the one thing, and then press A, and then let's do the same again. G, Z for the axis, and then 1, and now we moved it up exactly 1 unit, so perfectly placed in here.
Got it.
So that the pivot point is.
I'm gonna put this on X2.
Boom. So we can just place it somewhere on the ground, and it's gonna look exactly like this. Now, what we want to do is we go into press 1 to be in vertice mode, and you select the upper vertices here, and then you can just press S, and then just kind of move it into the middle, and we want to have kind of cone shape. It need to be completely closed, but something like this can look good. But this is also stuff which you need to kind of play around in the end. So if you press tab, then we're gonna have this as a result. The last thing you need to do is right mouse button and shade smooth, and now you're gonna have something which looks like this. Not perfect because the amount of verts is not great for it, but good enough for our use case at least. So we can go here into a corner, just kind of drag it up, and what we're gonna do is we change it up here from 3D viewport to UV editor, and now we're gonna see the UVs of the mesh. So if you click onto it, then press edit, so you need to be in edit mode, you're gonna see all the verts, and if you press A to actually show all of them, you gonna see the result in here. Go up here to the double arrows, and then if you select those, you can see which verts you select in here, also in the final viewport. Right now, the lower edge is also the lower edge in here, the upper edge in here. So that works fine, and this is basically already perfect for our use case. So let's use this in an actual setting. So we're gonna click on this, go to File, Export, FBX Export, and we're gonna go into a folder called Environment Course Meshes, and we're gonna call it fx_mesh modes cylinder. Let's go for that. Select meshes or objects only, no fake animation, and then export it.
Okay, let's do that quickly. Blender, where are you? Where are you, Blend? Hey, someone subscribed. Hey, appreciate you. Thank you so much for the subscription. Let me have you in the comment. And yes, thank you so much again. All right, so let's get the mesh. Let's get the cylinder. Let's get the 16 maybe, and then we can do another one with 32 radius, blah blah blah. We don't need this. No, nothing. Yeah, pretty good. All right, and tap, and then G, and then boom, and then done, and then again to the 1, and then take those. Alt Z. Oh, it's not working anymore. Oh, of course, NVIDIA, you're gonna take that freaking shortcut, right? All right, whatever. So here we go. Boom, done. And let's do right click, shade smooth. Why is it not shading smooth? Shade smooth. All right, that's pretty good. Okay. For some reason we had the UV here for whatever reason. Why did we do that? There was nothing. I think Bjorn was just showing the actual view or whatever. So we'll see. I don't think we need it, but I could be wrong. So yeah, if we press this, you're gonna see the UVs, but I don't think he done anything there, but we'll see. I have my export FBX ready here for myself. Unity export, probably gonna be the same, but we'll see. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. If it works, cool. All right, we're gonna go to documents. We're gonna go to, let's put it here. I'm gonna save it into our file with the exports, and then we're gonna do Blender. We're gonna do a file. We're gonna call it Blender. Yes, my friend. All right. We're gonna save this FBX to cone. Or the cone modes. Yes. Export. Boom. Done. All right. Let's watch.
Back in the engine, we will kind of see what we can do. So in the modes folder, let's create another folder which is called meshes. And everything in here we will already have. So the course meshes, and then let's
cool. Let's get that done then. All right, back here, you know, I have such a thank you for the subscription, Hassan Fasal. Nice to have you here. All right, so let's go to the folder. Where's my folder? Hello folder. Where are you, folder? Come on, folder. And how did I shift control F? Texture, I can't read. I'm dyslexic. We're gonna go these here. We're gonna do oh, you can't do that? All right, thank you so much, Unreal. Texture is oh, we did textures. Lol. Delete. We're gonna do oh wait, did I delete the right one now? Or that would have been a classic game dev mistake, right? Oh my god, thank you for the subscriptions, everybody. I appreciate you. Thank you again. All let's see. Mute. Let's do materials. Materials here. And then we're gonna put our material with the material instance. Boom, move here. Right. Shift Control F again. Oh, sorry. Shift Control N again. We're gonna do Niagara's. Is this how to write it? Okay. Particles. Particles. And whoom, here it goes. And one more folder is going to be, drum roll please, meshes. Yes, exactly. Perfect. All right. We need our folder and we need to get our stuff from the folder. Let's go with the meshes. Where are meshes? Meshes, Krita, Blender, FBX, and click and drag and drop. And rub that thingy. Let's see if it's gonna work. I'm not sure if it's gonna work. Back to the tutorial.
Again, the meshes modes and cylinder FBX.
Yes.
We do not want to create a new material. This is the only thing in the material setting which you want to change, so it's going to open up like this here.
Okay.
And yeah, only thing you need to adjust is change from create new materials to do not create materials and say import.
Okay.
Kind of ignore it.
Did we create a new material? Just curious. Doesn't look like it. Let's see.
And now you have something which you can actually put into the.
All right. Let's try to put that thingy. Looks good. Bam. It is doing all the normal stuff in it. Perfect. Okay, back.
See. And let's put it at the location.
So the only thing that is concerning me here is the amount of the, because I think we picked 16 faces, right? That could be a problem later on because it will stretch the F out of our texture. So we can see like there's already artifacts here, right? So what we can do is save ourselves a headache and basically do a couple of versions. So what we'll do, Shift A and then copy your cylinder. And let's go with 32. So just we have different variants here. And tab G up and tab and edit mode. Yes. All right. Boom. Right? Boom. Okay. Let's go make it the same size. Bam. Perfect. Oops. Choose. All right. Tap. All right. Click. Smooth. Boom. All right. Cool. Tap again. Smaller again. Boom. Tap again. Here we go. Q. FBX. Cone modes. 32. Hell yeah. All right. Here we go. Export. Bam. Blender thingy. Nice. Boom, boom. Here we go. And then we go to Unreal. Where's Unreal? Here's Unreal. Boom. All right, cool. Check, cheek. Boom, bam. Import. Cool. And then let's scroll up a little bit. Now we have the 32 version. Less artifacts, more artifacts. What is happening? Let's check it out. I'll just go away from here a little bit. What do we have in here? That is smoother. You see how smoother this is? And then we have no, please don't. But we'll see. We'll see which one will perform better. It's about performance and also about not sacrificing anything. Hey, D hey, nice to have you here, AD hey. Cool. All right, back to the course, guys. Bam. All right, keep going.
We want it to be and scale it like this. So this is slowly getting somewhere. Let's use it like this. Okay. So first of all, we don't want this thing to cast any shadows. So
yep,
cast shadows in here and just deactivate it.
All right, let's just get that out of the way. Honestly, get the 16 version, right? Let's put it up beneath the light, and bam, here we go. Put that thing like this. And is there a way in Unreal actually to like have an isometric view? I forgot how to do this shit. Too old for this shit. All right, scale up and probably all the way to the thingy here. Oh, thank you for the subscription, Mike. Oh, hi, Mike. Let's have you here, my friend. In the comments. Nice to have you here. Thank you for the follow. Okay. Let's put that thing down like this. All right. So next thing is get the other one, right? Should we? Probably we should. Is there a way to copy actually? So say I want this, right? So I want to copy the, what is it? The location, the rotation. Is there a way to copy all of them? Honestly, copy all properties in category. Nice. paste all of them in the category. Bam! Look at that. Hell yeah. All right, let's disable the 32. We're just gonna do that, 16, just to be, just like, All right, cool. 16, 32, bam, bam, cool. Cast, and we'll take everything cast shadow related. Boom, bam, done. All right, next, boom, bam, done. I really like that about Unreal, that you can actually type stuff. I love that. All right, back to it. Course, what's up? What's to do next?
And what we have now is basically the silhouette where we're going to use a shader on, which will kind of
materials, cool.
The particles look. So kind of what we do is, if we would now just like kind of apply this material, that's what we have right now. It already has a soft intersection, so it won't fade out, and if we go get closer, it fades out. Yeah, decent, right? But there's a couple of issues with those. First of all, this does look a bit weird and stretched, and there's not that great of a detail in there, as well as you see the edges, and all those kind of things we want to get rid of. So what do? We take the modes material, and we duplicate it, and we're going to call it mesh.
Yeah.
And so from here on, we will kind of rebuild it. This is what we did before, and we will just need to build a couple more things onto it to kind of make it look.
Man, I forgot how to tile things. Let me think. I wish I could guess this, but here's what we're gonna do. I'm just gonna test a couple of things. So one of the main things that I will test is, oh lol, I had everything in modes. That's pretty bad, dude. Doesn't matter for now. I think it's pretty good actually. Let's see. Material MI is material instance. MT is actually the material. I'm just gonna test it. Gonna look at it. Oh, look how pretty this is. All right. Yeah, it is doing something. It is doing something, and that's what they tested in the thingy, right? So what we'll do now is duplicate the MT modes, which is material modes, and we will change it modes to tileable. I think that is what we're gonna do. Tileable. Tileably. Perfect. Double click. And didn't double click that. Double click that. Now we have it here. My guess is we will do some tileability from this texture. So we're gonna have some time element, I'm guessing. I'm just trying to guess. And then that time is gonna be multiplied by something. I'm guessing again. Or we're gonna have a cosine or something like that. I'm just putting some items here on the quick. It's gonna be something here with the UV. So is there like a UV something in Unreal? UV cropping. Is there something with tiling? Motherfucker tiling. Oh, sorry YouTube. I apologize. MF detail normal tiling. MF detail normal tiling. I guess MF detail normal tiling. All right, so we can. That's a wild guess there. So I don't know. We're gonna go back to the tutorial, to the course from Mad VFX. 20% off with Jack 20. Check the link in the description below. Okay, so here we go.
Interesting, or like final. The first one is going to be Fresnel, and what this does is it. Let me show this you. It's easier. So we can, by the way, if you create nodes, you can say right mouse button, start previewing node, and you will see what this node or all the nodes leading into this will result in.
Now.
So
cool.
This is the start, and we want to have something like, let's say this, but we want to invert it. And what this first of all does, let me showcase what we get. This is what we get. It kind of everything which points towards the camera, like the normals of the individual verts, for example, or this one, the fragments, normals, don't really need to worry about it too much. But when they create a dot product which is trying to figure out, does this point look towards the camera or not? It doesn't right now, so it gets black. And this is why we with 1x invert it, because this would be, does it look towards the camera, then make it black. And then we invert it because we want to be able to have this here to fade it out.
Yes, Unreal Engine,
so
correct.
If we then use power node, we basically make the black parts darker and the white ones kind of stable, but that depends on the value. So if we do this on 4, this is what we're getting. So the edge is from each side completely faded out, even here on the cylinder, and that's what we use. So this is going to be the main part here. So we're going to multiply this and preview it. Now we're going to use that on our mesh, and suddenly we get rid of the edges.
All right. So that's what they did in the beginning. Hey, you know what? That's valid too. So we're going to just do that, honestly. So let's do it quickly. I'll explain what Fresnel is. So if you right-click, type Fresnal, Fresnel, which is spelled Fresnel, or, this is how it's said. Hello, sir. Just talk about technical artist software requirements, just because there are multiple softwares to learn Houdini, Unreal, Substance, etc. Can you please suggest which software? if I were you, like, what exactly do you want to learn? What exactly do you want to learn? I'm just gonna answer this. And you know what? If you, sorry, I put it on, I put it on Twitch. Sorry. You know, and if you want to learn something, you can add me on Discord. This is my Discord handle. Let's talk about it. So I'm a bit busy right now with the stream. So anyway, back to here. So if I right click on this, start reviewing node, we will see what the node is doing in a second. Not doing it. All right, so what happens if this was on 1? All right, so here's what we're gonna do. How did he preview it? How did he do that, actually? What if this was 10? Something like that? All right, I'm gonna just go back to the tutorial just to see how he previewed it a little bit here. Boom. That's the problem with putting a video on 2x.
What this node or
okay. 5, 0.04. All right, so this probably is maxing all the values that we wanna actually manipulate here. Boom. 5. Let's see. Nope.
nodes feeding into this will result in. So this is the start. And we want to have something like, let's say this, but we want to invert it.
Okay, 0.04. Yeah, we've done that. So 0.5. 1.5, sorry. Yeah, it's not previewing it for me for some reason. All right, that's not working. Enable real-time preview. Is that the one? Okay, stop previewing. This is what we're gonna do. Okay, so let's go to 1 minus or negate. And let's preview that. Start previewing node. I wonder why this is not working. Previewing material 1 minus. Why is it not working? Anybody knows? Oh yeah, no, it is previewing something. Okay, so that is at least pretty good. I think I have too much exposure, honestly. Like I have way too much like post-processing on this thingy. So if I had it on Epic Headquarter, now we're talking. That's the problem. Okay. About shaders and optimization. All right, reach to me on my Discord, definitely. We'll talk about it. We'll have a chat, no worries. I already have someone on my Discord from the stream. We'll talk about it. All right, so friend for now and 1 minus. All right, so now if I put this as a preview, it's gonna show me the surroundings. So what Fresnel does, like it explained in the tutorial, it's looking into what normal on this mesh is looking towards the camera and what is not. If it's not in here, for example, it's turning it to white, and what it is, it's turning it into black. And you can control the values, right? If it's 4, it's gonna show something different. It's gonna make more in the middle here. And if it's on like 0.1, let's see how that will look like. The best reflect fraction here. It's gonna make that a little more, yeah, a little more white, I guess. And then we can control those white-black values to control the opacity, right? So let's do a power node here. A power will increase the contrast, basically, like we see here. We flipped it, and now it's increasing the contrast. Let's put it the same value he put there with 0.04, right? And let's see how the power here will look like. All right, so what if this was on 10? It will increase. Yeah, so we have more fade on the edges. Okay. What if this was on 2? Back again, where we have more edges. All right, so that's what we want. We want the white to say, Han Pro Studio said hi. Hi, Han Pro Studio. Nice to have you here. I will continue explaining. So yeah, now we have Pro X. So power X, and it's powering it by 10. I'll add a clamp. What does the clamp do? So this is probably taking the numbers here, which were 1 and 0. And now with the power 10, it's putting it on like 1,000,000 or something, right? So we're clamping it. We're taking the numbers that are on billion, whatever. We're putting it back to between 0 and 1. And this will go into a multiplication. Multiply. Here we go. And we will take the last bit of our opacity multiplication and hook it afterwards, right? And let's stop the preview, which I don't know how to do. Right click, stop. All right. perfect. Now we go back to not the headquarters, but the gray thingy. And now we see that it is fading. It's cutting off the edges, right? So save it and save. It's saving. All right, perfect. And now what we'll do is drag and drop the new one. Boom. And as we see, before we had this. We can see the edges. Now we don't see the edges, which is amazing. One thing I need to change here is the seams. I don't want to see any seams. And if you wonder what seams are, well, let me explain seams to you. So, in this UV, right, you can see that it is all laid down in a square, right? So at one point, they made a cut here. They cut that part, and they spread it like that, like a can. Basically. And then they spread the UVs like that. And that is the seam, and we were seeing it basically here. You see how things get cut harshly? I'm not sure if it's a seam, honestly, now that I see it. But it gets cut super harshly, and we don't want to see it. That's a seam. Must be a seam. Yeah. But since the texture is stylable, we should not worry super much, I guess. And that's the 16 one. 16 one has artifacts, by the way. So let's take the 32 one here. I watched your first video of this part, and I can't find the resources of Mad VFX file where to get them. Well, you have to buy the course. I'm showing you a paid course, and you have to get the course if you want to get the files. So I'm documenting the purchase, and yeah, I get the file, but you don't get the file. But yeah, just for the sake of demonstrating the learning here and making it more enhanced, yes, that's how you do it. You buy the course, my friend. And if you want to get 20% off the course, check the link below with the code Jack20. All right, now back to it. Tileable. Yeah, that's the 32 one now, right? Yeah. And it has less artifacts. Is that correct? Let's spin it. You spin me right round, baby, right round. Yeah, pretty much. I think the 32 is better than the 16, basically. So let's get to the 32 back again. Cool. We got that. Let's see how they're gonna tile it and make it run. Back to the course.
And what this first of all does, showcase what we get. This is what we get. It kind of everything which points towards the camera, like the normals of the individual verts, for example, or this one, the fragment normals. Don't really need to worry about it too much. But when they create a dot product which is trying to figure out does this point look towards the camera or not, it doesn't right now, so it gets black. And this is why we with 1x inverted, because this would be, does it look the black parts darker and the white ones kind of stable, but that depends on the value. So if we do this and pour, this is what we're getting. So the edge is from each side completely faded out, even here on the cylinder, and that's what we're using. So this is going to be the main part here. So we're going to multiply this and preview it. Now we're going to use that on our mesh, and suddenly we get rid of the edges, which is quite nice.
Yeah.
And from here on, we will kind of play around with like a couple more things, but overall they're a bit more subtle compared to this change. The first one is still slightly bigger one, and first one we want to change the
text coordination
to splitter tile, because we want to use the tileable texture.
Yeah, that's it. It's texture coordination.
True. Because now we will actually multiply our UVs, and that creates the tiling. So what we can go in here, we can say tile X, and then tile Y, and what this. Okay. Now, for whatever reason, now we have something which we can use together to say how often do you want this thing to tile. So like that in here, like here. Let me showcase it to you. Nice.
Okay.
Here, sprite. So this is the
okay. Awesome. Let's do that real quick. Let's put that setup. Hey, I appreciate Mad VFX for going into details here. All right, it's very beginner friendly indeed. All right, so like I said, there will be something behind the UV here that we need to use. And that will be, in this case, a text chord. So that texture coordination. Texture coordinate, yes. We will take that and multiply. Correct? Was it multiply? I'm not sure anymore. Yes. Oopsie. Okay, we're gonna multiply m-click. And we'll do append a click. Nope, doesn't work. Okay. Right click, append, append, append vector. Yes. And we'll do now two parameters. S click. We're going to call it tile X, tiling X. Oops. Capital letter on X. All right. And we'll do, wait, let's copy that. Doesn't matter. S click, tiling on Y. All right. We got it. So this is going to go here. And this is going to go here. And better put a value of 1. Value of 1. We're going to append it to the multiply. Here we go. And fix it into the UV and preview that part. One of the main things I will do is get this texture here. One thing I would like to do here is pick another texture, the one that is stylable. Like this one, for example. All right. So now if I put 2, enter, it's styling it in the Y, and this is styling it in the X. Now we have tiling right, pretty much, yeah. So if I put it on a sphere like this, and we do 3 here and 3 here, we're getting more tiling, basically. And that is awesome. So now we have those controls. Let's save. And I'm guessing there will be a way to make the UV here move. And I'm wondering if I could move this with an add. Is that doable? If I add an add here and I put it into the UV. Wait, put this here. What happens if this add is hooked by time? Well, look at that. That's pretty cool. All right, so we kind of, but it's going in one direction. I bet there will be noises that we can do here that can actually take this to the next level. But just for the lulz, right? For the laughs or whatever they call it, we're gonna go here and look at it. Yeah, so we can probably do like a random number thingy. And what I will do, by the way, is hide the stuff from here. And yeah, so we got something going on. Let's check the performance. Alt 8. It's better than before, that's for sure. It's more performative. Let's get more tiling. 6 and 6. All right, save that. Let's see what happens. Yeah, we're getting more. That's pretty cool, honestly. All right, let's go back to the course, guys. See what's going to happen.
Default texture, and that is now just like laid out perfectly. If we now tile this 2 times 2, you can see it is nicely tiled. Also,
yes.
Tile that 1 times 2, so like it gets repeated twice on X, but only once on Y.
Yeah.
And this we can kind of play around with afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Also, one little thing which we want to add for all this kind of stuff, we have animated these sprites. So if this would be just static and standing in here, that would feel a bit weird. So we can use a panel node, and what this is doing, it moves the UVs and therefore moves the entire thing. So if I plug that in here,
all right,
and I say x.3, you should be able to see. You need to go in here to the 3 dots and say real time.
Real time.
Then you will see that this entire thing kind of moves to the left side. And the smearing right now, that is because of our anti-aliasing. Don't worry too much about that. And let's get some really small values in there, honestly. Can be quite subtle. Something like that. Really can move just a tiny bit. We don't need a lot.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and from here on, we have most of the important stuff covered. If we now apply this, we have most.
So see, if we didn't experiment here, I would have never learned this, honestly. Like, I kind of knew what's going to happen at the next step, but I've got to keep this here, right? I know it's not perfect, and that's fine that it's not perfect. But at least I learned, like, okay, next time I use a panner, right? To get what I want from here. Yeah, so let's get a panner, damn it. All right, panner, where you at? So let's get this here in the middle. Panner, what's up, buddy? All right, panner is here. Boom, in here. Let's get like really, really small values. Jack, I suddenly had a question. Please suddenly ask. Minus 0.005 and hook it up in the UV. Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, let's take that. Do you think Blender can become like Unreal? As for me, Blender has more potential in procedural generation. What do you mean? Houdini has more more potential. I guess no, it will never be like Unreal. It's a 3D editing, like a 3D suit. Like it used to be an engine back in the day. It used to be like Unreal, but it will never be like Unreal because Unreal is specialized in different sections. And just like Unreal will never be Blender, Blender will never be Unreal. That's simple as that. Blender is really good at things that Blender does, and Unreal is good at what Unreal does. For example, game development. For example, big games, AAA stuff like that. That's what Unreal is for. It's not there to model, although you can, but it's not there to do 3D modeling. Anyway, back to it. Save. Boom. Here we go. Now it's moving very slowly. That's pretty cool. But I think because we tiled the texture a little too much, gonna go easy on the values here. Yeah, it's too much. Let's go with a 1. Yeah, all right, save that. And we're gonna go easy on this too. Excuse me. Having a really bad thing in my throat. Sorry about that. Yep, this is how it's gonna look. I love this, man. I love optimization. This is so much fun. It's like black magic. Not black magic. What's it called?
Switch our movie. And we have a couple more things.
Trickery?
And one thing
I
which
don't
can be
know,
nice
so-
is we can change it to be two-sided. So now we see not only the front, but also the back. This gives us like a decent.
Ooh, two-sided, right? Where to do that? Was it here? Inside of the texture? Oh, blah, blah, blah. Channel name. Sample source. All right, I'm gonna just cheat a little bit here. Don't have so much time left, so I'm gonna cheat
We
a
now
little
apply
bit.
this.
All right, go back a little bit.
Yeah, and from here on, we have most of the important stuff covered. If we now apply this, we have modes which are moving,
Yeah.
and we have a couple more things. And one thing which can be nice is we
All right, so it's like a click checkbox somewhere. Where is he at now? Which node is this? The material itself. That makes sense. All right, two-sided. Lighting mode, apply fogging, contact shadow, advanced, up there, two-sided, clicky click, save, boom, back to view in a second. Here we go. Now we have two-sided. So you can see the two sides here. Oh yeah, you can see already that it has this weird thing with the UVs, and that is unfortunately due to the fact that we scaled this down here. Yeah, and the texture is, we scaled the upper part down, and this part is, you know what? Maybe he did something to fix this, and I'm really curious right now. So we were 1413. Okay, I'm just gonna go back here to the UV part because he showed something. I think I didn't pay
birds, and if you
attention.
press A to actually show all of them, you gonna see the result in here. Go up here to the double arrows, and then if you select those, you can see which birds you select in here, also in the final viewport. Right now, the lower edge is also the lower edge in here, the upper edge in here. So that works fine, and this is basically already perfect for our use case. So
Nope.
let's use this in an actual setting.
Alright,
So
so
we're gonna
it is
click on
what
this,
it
go to
is.
file, export.
It's not gonna work. We're probably gonna work on the opacity part to fix this. So let's go back here. What is it? 1413 we said? Yeah, somewhere here. 1414.
See not only the front but also the back. This gives us like a decent parallax effect, and we can adjust our tiling. So
Yeah,
kind of match the
that's pretty cool.
detail layer and the size we have with the actual sprites. So this already gives a nice volumetric feel to it. There's a few more little things which you can do, but the only one I'm going to talk about right now is to kind of fade it out the detail, right? So we have this, and it just kind of goes on here, and you can kind of see the edge a bit.
Yeah.
Not too bad, but we can get rid of that super easily. So I just kind of want to showcase you how to do it. If we have the UVs, and we use a component mask, so we only want to use like one of those channels. Let me quickly showcase you how this is how a texture set looks like. It starts with 0, 0, and then goes to
Cool.
1, and to 1,
Yeah.
X and Y. So green and red.
I'm gonna slow down a little bit. It's a bit more important now.
And if we use the component mask,
Hey, dude. Yep.
and we showcase that one, we're going to have like black at the top, white at the bottom. And if we now multiply this times 2,
Mm-hmm.
and then also let's use a saturate. And what a saturate does, it just kind of cuts off all the values which are above 1. Let's showcase that. This is what we're getting. So it's pretty much white all the way, and then from kind of the middle on, it slowly starts fading out, and the top is completely black.
Yeah.
So if we use this as a multiplication on what we had before, we will fade out everything which is on the top. And therefore, it will be like a way softer gradient towards the actual top. See that?
Yeah.
Can't really
but
make out any more way it
the
starts.
German
So
kicks in always.
this is a pretty good way of like getting something in, which is usually quite expensive.
But here's the thing. I kind of like that it on the top. It's kind of going beyond. Am I in the camera? All right, yeah. I like that it goes beyond on the top. Like it shows immediately because that's I think how it works in reality. That's just my observation of reality. I like that, but I don't like that it is not actually doing it when it comes to the bottom. The bottom is the problem for me here. But since it's using the depth buffer, I feel that is okay because it is already fading basically. And you know what? I think this is fine for me. Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. One thing though that I would like to do is continue the tutorial for now. Don't have much time left. Sorry guys, we'll have to end soon. But let's finish
now
this.
when we go in here, we can see there's a bit of stuff wrong with it. So first of all, the tiling could be a tiny bit bigger. By the way, go with like full values on those here. So something like this, 3-3, that looks good. Then the movement, I think that's decent. That's fine. But then there's obviously like different things you could still adjust. But at this point, what you try to do is you will try to use your particle system to kind of blend this shape in. And if we go now to optimization view, view modes, shader complexity, we have our mesh and we do have our modes. So if we deactivate the modes, we have just the one mesh, which is really not too bad. Like it looks red. Like I said, don't give too much on that estimation because honestly, it's calculated in an interesting way. So if we go to our modes and we activate them, we see this. So we don't need that much stuff anymore. So what we can do is we go in here and we have the mode splatter. And first of all, let's turn down like the spawn rate to like 1.2 and say 2. First of all, this is a decent start. And then also we want to kind of adjust where we
it's kind of what we did in the start, honestly.
So right now it spawns somewhere in the middle. And we want to make this thing
that's like also what I did
to actually spawn less in the middle.
I feel
like
happy because like I've done the correct thing
of this thing. So first of all, there's less overdraw.
Yeah.
And also it kind of blends those things out. So we can actually go with 300, I would say.
That's pretty cool.
Let's do that. Yeah. Now we kind of draw stuff around the shape. And now we already have like way less overdraw.
Yeah.
Now we could go in here as well and like adjust the mode signal thing as well. And just create something which blends everything in a bit more nicely.
I agree.
And always kind of make sure that when you do stuff like this, that you go back into a viewport and actually see what the end result looks like. Because the less stuff you spawn, usually you want to kind of dial up your opacity to kind of balance this out. So go 5 and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Then
polishing.
We should have something which looks quite decent already. We spawn stuff here. Wait, that's a bit too much. 0.5, 0.4, and here 0.2, 3. So this quite simple thing already made the entire effect a lot more easy to use because at this point we have the, if we go in here, we have the modes, and we do have the mode cylinder. We could kind of just parent those onto each other, and now we can take the entire thing, just kind of move it around, right? So we have this thing, and like environment artists could just like place it anywhere, and they can also like rescale certain things, and they can just have a lot of control over how they want this thing to look like, and now they can literally like.
I would honestly even parent it to the actual light, but I think the environment artist will the lighting artist will just kill me if I did that. I just have a feeling.
Mask out their dot rays. It can be, especially for lighting artists, be a really nice thing which they like. So we have this thing which is quite cheap, and then we just spawn a couple more particle system sprites around it, which then creates a look of something kind of breaking out, right? So by the way, don't scale those.
All right. What's the last thing?
Looks interesting. No, I'm pairing them right now because we would need to do a couple more small adjustments for that to work nicely. But yeah, we have this, and this here now gives you quite nice volumetric feel and look to stuff, and you get closer, it still fades out perfectly, but you feel like you're going through something. And at this point, it's literally just adjusting a couple more things till it really looks nice and fitting to the scene. Right now, maybe a bit too strong, maybe adjusting the tiling a tiny bit more, or also literally giving the cylinder here just a couple more subdivisions, right? So if you do a new one, cylinder, don't go with 30, go with maybe 50.
Hey, we did that.
Don't overdo it. Overall, this effect is going to be a lot cheaper now compared to what we had before. we simulate less stuff and we're gonna have less overdraw. So yeah, this is what we gonna end the lecture
very
with.
optimized.
And from here on, we're gonna go into the next couple of little things which we can hopefully build upon afterwards. See you in the next module.
All right, guys, that's the last.
And welcome back for this.
Sorry about that. That was the last free part of this.
This is
so
what we
will
gonna
do
end the lecture with.
next
And from here on,
episode
go
or
into the
next
next couple of little
part.
things.
Let me. I want to put the logo here. What we'll be doing in the next part is basically this instead of watching the actual thing. So we'll be doing this, and the thing will be running in the background just like as usual, but the sound will be muffled. So, and that's to protect the actual course. It will be muffled like this, basically. Yeah, we kind of need to do this because, yeah, the course is paid, and we need to protect its dignity or its copyright or whatever it is. Yeah, let's do the last part here of the work. And actually, before we do that, let's look into the course itself. So we have falling leaves, right? That will be the next thing. We'll do introduction to leaves, so leaves meshes and leaves particles. That's going to be interesting to do. We'll do fire, we'll do lens flare, we'll do steam. This is very exciting stuff. Decals, awesome. Rain, oh my god, this is going to be so much fun. And then polishing, and then we'll go to the bonus electric sparks. That's going to be beneath the light, I think. We'll do exactly like we did so far. Just I wouldn't be able to show you the course. That's just part of it. If you want to buy it, go ahead and buy it. But I'll document my learning there. Anyway, back to the last steps that we need to take here. I really like this a lot. Let's make a instance, create material instance, as we see. That's fine. I'm just gonna call it MI. Stylable, yes, my friend. All right, double click on that. Let's get the tileability. Oh, sorry, the actual opacity here to 20. What is going to happen? Oh, wait, we have to actually assign it. Yeah, all right. So now we see did you complete the Jump Academy Unreal Houdini course? I haven't really completed it. I left it as a teaser for people who want to participate there, to go and participate there. I feel like I got enough of it, of the knowledge there, and I feel like it was too advanced for me. So I will actually cover some Double Jump Academy stuff, maybe in the weeks upcoming, but I will start with something simple again. Try to make simple HDAs first. Then I could go and do a deep dive. Eventually, that's what I like to do. I like to do something very complex first and see if I would like the complex stuff. And if I still enjoy it, I'll go back to the other stuff. All right, so back here, opacity controller. All right, so we're going to take that down to 2. And Game Art 101, thanks for joining, my friend. Appreciate you a lot. You're always welcome here. All right, so 3. And yeah, so that's cool opacity. Let's bring back our particles that we had before, that were, I think, optimized a bit more. Don't be scared of the colors. Yeah, I mean, he said that's pretty good, so I'll just trust him. I'll go a little less with the actual particles now. Let's see. Where are the particles? Initialize particle. Let's go with 3 and a 5, or 3 and a 4. Actually, 2 and a 3. That's pretty good. Yeah, let's go with that. And with the rest here, especially the smaller modes, we're gonna make them go in a bigger box, basically. So boxy. Where's my box? Here's the box. Let's do 600, and yeah, that's fine. So we're making them spawn in a bigger range. And as to the other box, we will also do that here as well. Yes. Perfect. And now back to Alt 2. Here we go. Oh, sorry, Alt 4, not Alt 2. And we will end up with this here. And it looks pretty good for now. Let's switch to the cinematic. And let's do this. All right, guys. Now I'll have some closing thoughts. We learned a lot. We learned how to create the particle system there, how to optimize it using other techniques. We created the motes. Next will probably be the fire. I think the leaves are next. That is so far the free part of this course. We covered everything that is free and available that you can get by a trial. The rest will be covered in the next episode. So we'll have falling leaves, fire, lens flare, steam, decals, rain, polishing, etc., etc. And yeah, that's it for now. I will see you in the next one, and I hope you enjoyed it. All right, everyone. Have a great day ahead. It was great having you guys on and just learning a new thing. We'll continue most likely tomorrow. We'll learn more. More podcasts, episodes are coming. Make sure you subscribe. If I've earned your subscription, do it. If I earned your follow, do it. If I didn't earn it, don't do it. All right. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you. And I'll see you in the next episode. All right. Bye-bye. Salam.